Hello, hello,
Good
hello, hello,
morning.
hello. Good morning, good
Say
morning.
good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, G. Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Good
Morning.
morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
everybody.
Great morning, G.
Good morning,
Everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Awesome morning.
Good morning, T.
Dynasty.
welcome.
Morning, Coach.
Oh,
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning,
Morning,
Coach.
Coach.
welcome, 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 welcome. Dynasty roll call. April Monte Bonner, are you in the room? Unmute yourself. Jackie
In the
Crystal
room, Coach.
Payne.
We are on the call, G.
We're here,
April's,
Coach GDK.
April's in the office.
I've been here, Coach.
You've been in the office? What time you get to the office? My God.
It's 6:30.
April's
In
in
the
the
office here too.
Yeah, shoot, if I was April's team right now, I'd be right next to my coach, or at least on my way. My coach is never going to outperform me. Do we got? I said Jack and Crystal Bain. Do we have Arlene Jimenez in the room?
Arlene Jimenez in the room.
Good. BJ and Leah. BJ and Leah.
Yes, sir. We're here.
What's up, BJ? Sergio and Kylie.
Yes, sir. Right here.
Adrian and Raquel.
Call, Coach.
Because he must be going on stage for JP and them. So
Vivian
Vivian,
Diaz.
Right here, Coach. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Elvira and Frankie Ortega.
Good morning on the call.
Hey, Frankie, Elvira, bring some people over here. I'm actually at Indian Wells. I'm at the Esmeralda Hotel. I'll
Got
be
it.
all weekend. I'll be here all weekend.
Okay.
All right, we got a great retreat, about 300 or 400 people that are here. Art and Juan are here as well. And myself and my family are here as guest speakers for JP, Primerica. He's looking at 700,000 in income. He's an NSD in the company. So he does a summer retreat every year. All right, so we got the Cal's Reddit's team, the A1's in the room as well. David, Cal, where you at, David?
Right here, G.
What's up, my brother? How are you?
I'm great, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm doing good, man.
Stay cool out there in that 120-degree temp.
Yeah, I know it. Exactly right. I'm standing inside, dude. Once I pulled in, I got out the car. I'm not going outside. My son went out to the pool with his daughter yesterday. I go, God bless you. God bless you. You guys go out there and let me know how I go, you know?
I think you're bringing the heat out there. That's what you guys are doing.
I am going to bring the heat today. I'm going to bring the heat today. You're right.
Gary, what time do you speak today?
I go on at 11 o'clock. Yeah. And then tonight they have a big, like we normally do it in Dallas. They have the, what do you call it, Gary? The musical chairs, the DJ, the whole deal. Is it tonight costume party? Oh, tonight's a costume party. Did not know that. I don't have a costume. But anyway, so tonight's a costume party. And then we have the meetings after the meetings, obviously, with all these people at 10 o'clock at night. It'll be crazy. We're gonna come on down, you know, come on down. It's up to anybody, but I know for sure you can't come to the actual banquet because the dinner's already prepared. But obviously, after the food is picked up, if you want to just happen to be in the area, then I'll get you in if you know what I mean. All right. What's up, Ashton? Ashton and Brianna King.
What's happening, Big G? We right here. Look, you already got your costume on, Coach. You the GOAT. You the GOAT.
I'm the GOAT.
You the GOAT.
All right, cool. I'm the GOAT then. I'm coming like that. What's your costume, Coach? I'm the GOAT. You crazy. Yeah. But anyway, so absolutely, Elvira, my son said you may have some people out here in Coachella Valley that you want me to hook up with, and let's go ahead and make that a reality. If you are going to come, regardless of where you are, send me a text though. Let me know. That way I'm not caught off guard here, you know, with 30 people standing outside and JP going, what's going on here, Gary? There's 30 people here. I'm gonna be like, I don't know these people. I do not know these people. Okay. But if you let me know in advance, I'll make something happen for you. Art, yeah, Art and Juana's here as well. So this will be a great Saturday training for these folks here, okay? All right, cool. Welcome to our Saturday training. I'm your Senior National Sales Director, Gary D. Kornegay. I am actually in the room at the Esmeralda in Indian Wells, California, one of the great, beautiful resorts in the Palm Springs desert area. I'm here with my wife, Patricia. I have Gary and Kishana and my beautiful grandbaby. We're all here today in today's Saturday training. You're going to hear from April Monte Bonner today. We're going to give a 30-minute segment to them. We're going to hear from Vivian Diaz as well. So stay tuned. You're going to get a lot of good information on how to build your business in the social media market, how to compete as well, how to create and have the work ethic you need. So you're going to get tons of good information to help you grow your business. We have right now left in the month. Today is the 27th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days left in the month. The month's going to end on April the 1st at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 a.m. Eastern. The month's going to end, and we're going to roll right into September. Right into September. Speaking of September, September the 3rd, we will have a live training at our office in Rancho Cucamonga. Okay, so make sure the month's going to end on the 1st. We're going to have a big combined meeting at the office on the 3rd so we can launch the new month of September. We're getting ready to go into the fun part of the year, September, October, November. Those are the best 3 months in the entire year for Primerica, and December for the Kornegays has always been our best month as well. So we're excited about that. Just make sure you finish this month strong. If you're fighting for a promotion, fight for the promotion. If you missed a promotion, as long as you're fighting for the promotion, you create the momentum that you need to grow your business. So make sure that you don't miss the moment, all right? Every day counts. Every day counts in this business. Do not miss it. What other announcements do we have? We have the Bahamas trip. Make sure you guys go online. Let me show you how to do this, okay? You go to Primerica online. You're paying $20 a month for it, okay? You go to Primerica online. Look under competition scoreboard. So I'm on the home page right now. Let me go back in. I'm on the home page. You should be able to see that. You all have access to this. You're paying for it. You might as well use it. With a competition scoreboard, go down here to contest leaders. And it says Bahama Bound, RVP and above at first, by this categories, on target. Or you can click on the bubble, thank you. On target, so watch this right here. So I click get report because I'm an RVP and above at first. And you see in the Bahamas trip, they're taking the top 50 that's in my category. Right now, our hierarchy is ranked number 5. We have to knock off 4 hierarchies. Miguel Illich, the Barragons, Danny Chamorro, and number 1 is Willie Naranjo. He is kicking some serious butt. $52 million in production score. We're at 23 million. He's doubled our size. We have our work cut out. This contest is going to be running all the way until November. Okay, so what you do is you go into your category and you find out where you're at. You say, okay, I'm a future regional leader or I'm a future RVP. So if you're not an RVP, but you're above division, that means you're a future RVP, which means you're a regional leader. You click on this number and you find out who's number 1. Right now, Natalie Guzman, she's under Carlos. She's the number 1 regional leader in the company for the Bahamas trip. But you can go ahead and look for your name and see where you place at. And you got to make sure that you look at your numbers every day. Don't let a day go by without looking for your name. See where you rank it. They're taking this category, the top 120. Okay? And by the way, if you see your name with an asterisk next to it, it means that you're in another category. So they're not going to place you twice. Okay? Also, I think at the bottom here in the fine print, it says here, not on target for premium. So if you see an asterisk, not on target for premium minimum and cash flow minimum. If you see a pound sign, not on target for cash flow minimum. So Primerica is saying in order for you to even get in this competition, you have to have a minimum cash flow. Okay, so that means you have the numbers. Like this person, Latoya Freeman, right? She would win, but if the contest in tomorrow, because she hasn't made at least $2,500 in income, she's not going to win. Okay, they'll take her name out and they'll bump the other person up. All right. So if you are a future regional division leader, we just promoted Mel and Raquel. Are they on here, Mel and Raquel?
Let's check.
We promoted them to regional leader, division leader. So now they're going to be in this category. So they're going to look for their name. Now, right now,
No, they're not.
they're not, let's see, let's see where they're at. Normally they're on. Yeah. And then, but you can also go to, I think they're in license after May.
They new license, G.
Yeah, they're new license. So license after May on target.
Coach, you can do individual team results and you get everybody that's on your team that's winning in the categories. You know that?
Yeah, that's correct. That is correct. Yes. So I can click on an individual team right here. You see my mouse is? And I'll pull up just my hierarchy alone. All right. But right here you see Raquel and Mel, they're ranked number 4. It says number 3 because number 1 has this not on target for premium minimum. Okay. Or does not have full POL access. Woo! Hey, the company's telling you, hey, this guy Wardell, right? He's number 1 in the company for the Bahamas, but he's gonna not make it because he don't have the minimum premium, which I highly doubt, because you can't be number 1 without the premium, but he doesn't have POL active. That $25 for Primerica Online, his is not active. So they're gonna bump him out, and they're gonna bump up Greta to number 1, Romero to number 2, and Mel and Raquel to number 3. So, and by the way, they only take in the top 10 in this category. That's gonna be the dog fight. You know how many people are actually in this level in the company? There's thousands of people that joined after May, but they're only taking the top 10. Okay, so you find your position wherever you're at. You go based on cash flow. You say, Coach, I don't have a big premium-based shop, but I know I can make money. Then do the cash flow category. If you're a securities license, you go, Coach, I don't have a big insurance business, but I do a lot of mutual funds. I can do a lot of rollovers. Then you can still win. Get in where you fit in. I don't have a hierarchy. Okay, what about bonusable premium? Click that number, base shop, and you pull up Troy Fields. He's number 1 in bonusable premium. Okay, without recruiting, just straight premium. JD Dixon, Siobhan Landry. These people would not win in the other category, but we have multiple. So make sure you compete for that. So if you're brand new, you're just hearing this right now, you're gonna click on and say, where it says life license after May. You pass your test tomorrow, that's after May. So you'll be in this category. There's somebody listed to me right now that just joined the business, let's say this week, that will be in the Bahamas. I guarantee it. Somebody listed to me right now will actually be in the Bahamas. All expenses paid, trip by Primerica, by the way. You got to show up to the airport with your luggage. That's it. Show up to the airport with your luggage, and Primerica takes care of everything. Everything. Okay? Transportation from the airport to the hotel, take care of the hotel bill for you. Get it? Now, you may have some extra stuff you're doing a gift shop, you have to pay for stuff like that. That goes without saying. But Primerica took care of the biggest bill, which is the hotel room. You get food every day paid by the company, banquet, breakfast, dinner. You may have a free lunch on your own. You may want to do some excursions in the Bahamas, what you want to do, whatever. Jet skiing, you want to do what do we do, Gary? Where you get up in the air and they pull you the boat. Parasailing. You want to do freaking zip line.
No, the Bahamas is different.
The Bahamas, yeah,
That's different.
whatever.
Awesome.
All right, so it's going to be a great event. We don't want you to miss it.
Don't miss
Don't miss it, all right? We have 434 people in the room. So here's what I want to do with my short time with you today before I turn it over to the great Vivian, Diaz, April, Monte, Bonner, all right? I want to talk to the new people today. I'm assuming today is your first meeting. And you join Primerica because you want to win here. I want you to understand one thing, that everybody is not going to make it. Now, I know your friend told you yesterday, if I could do it, you could do it, right? And you signed up, you go, oh my God, we're all going to make it. You know, oh my God, kumbaya, I found something. And then I get on and tell you there's a strong possibility you won't make it. You go, Gary, why would you speak those words that I won't make it? Because I want you to take this serious. You pay $124 and you don't take it serious. It blows my mind, Arlene, how people will literally join the company. I mean, we're talking about the ink's not even dry on their application, Sergio, and they already tell you what they're not gonna do. Isn't that crazy, Charlene? Like they join, and in the midst of joining, Ashton, they go, well, I'm not gonna come to these meetings on Zoom. Well, how long is the meeting? Well, it's like, dude, you only been in the business like an hour. You know, well, do I have to be on all the meetings? I don't know. Do you want to be financially independent all the time? So I'm here to tell you that you're gonna, how can I say it, mess this opportunity up before we mess it up for you. We have the greatest compensation plan in the financial industry. We've been ranked #1 for the best technology in terms of processing, sales, and underwriting, and direct deposit, paying you direct deposit, and getting paid the same day. We have the best licensing system in the country. Hey, Ashton, did you know that in every state in the United States, 1 out of every 3 people taking the test is in Primerica?
I did not know that.
If you walk into a state building and people are taking the insurance exam, just go like this. 1, 2, Primerica. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Primerica. 7, 8, number 9, Primerica. 10, 11, 12 is Primerica. Every 3 people in a room that's taking a test is Primerica. One company out of 538 insurance companies, one company has 1 out of every 3 people. We have the best licensing system. We're the only company that pays for your license for you. We pay for your securities license for you. The curriculum, the instructor, the background check, we refund you everything. You only pay $124 one time, and we pick the tab up. If you fail the test, if you go through our training program and through our module and you fail the live test, we pay it for you again. How about that? You failed the second time, we pay it again. You set up the third time, we pay it again. You set up the 4th time, guess what? We pay it again. As long as you go through our training modules and you score and you go green, we'll keep paying it for you. No other company does that. We have the best product. We offer a 35-year level term insurance. We have the best product in the market. Are we the cheapest? No, we're not trying to be cheap. That makes sense. I'm wearing this beautiful seersucker shirt I had custom made with my initials on it. Right, this fits me and this is made for Gary. My son can't even wear this because it's customized. I wear custom clothes, right? Is it cheap? No, it's not. But can I tell you a trick that I didn't know, Ashton? When I first bought my custom shirt, well, God was trying to sell me one. I thought he was trying to take advantage of me, Ashton. So he said, the shirt is $250, and this is 30 years ago. 30 years ago. I started making a little money, Ashton. I said, I'm gonna get me a custom clothes made. I was watching Boomerang with Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy, yeah.
He was always sharp, and that inspired me. And I go, man, I'm gonna get me some shirts. Man, that guy's sharp, right? He's a businessman. He lives in a high rise. Today I live in a high rise, you know. So he's sharp, he's clean. All the ladies like him. So I said, cool, I'm gonna start getting me some custom clothes made. So I called this guy named Woody Wilson. He was working for a company called Diaz in Beverly Hills, and he came to my office, right? And I by the way, asked, I promise I will not lie to you. I'm 27 years old. My office, okay, was the actual former CEOs of United Artists, which is all the movie theaters now know of as AMC. So I took over his office. I had my own shower, my own bathroom, right? I had this beautiful overlooking the marina of LA. I'm 27, 20 years old, bought a brand new 300cc coupe, bought Pat Kornegay, a brand new BMW, bought this beautiful home with marble floors. I'm 20 something. Pat's pregnant with G2. We go from zero to hero real quick in Primerica. And I finally decided I'm gonna go ahead and bite the bullet, get some custom clothes made. No more shopping at the swap meet. No more shopping at Sears and Mervyn's, no disrespect, you know. And a guy comes over and he fits me up and he measures me up and he takes all my measurements and he writes it down. And he had me pick out some swatches. You know, oh, I like that, I like that, I like that. And I just started shopping, right? And I said, now how much is one shirt? Like, just do one. He says, oh, that's $250. Hold on. Hold on, $250 for one? You mean a package? No, one shirt. Okay, now you understand, I get my shirts at Sears, okay, and they're $29.99. Okay, so I can walk to Sears right now and pick up 7 shirts and take them to swap meet in the hood and get my initials put on by the embroidery guy for $2. So I'm thinking this guy's trying to upsell me, Ashton, because he saw the nice office and a nice car, you know, take advantage of a brother. And then he proceeded to educate me. He says, Gary, you can buy your shirts at Sears. He says, but how many washes do you get out of it before it turns yellow? I go, what? He goes, how many washes do you get out of that shirt? He said, Gary, what I didn't tell you, when you get a custom shirt from Vivian, the only thing that wears on the shirt is the cuffs and the collar and the pocket. See, our shirts, when you buy it once, you bring us back the shirt and we change the collar, the cuffs, and the pocket. And that shirt will last you a lifetime. You're actually paying more, Gary, for Sears than you are for our shirt. Because you're buying 10 Sears shirts in the course of, let's say, 3 months after you wash them and they go to cleaners, versus my shirt, you wear once, you can wear as many times as you want, and when you're tired of it, Gary, I can even change the collar from blue to white. I can change the cuffs from white to blue. So cheap is not important. No, value is more important. Do we have the cheapest insurance? No. Do you want to have the cheapest insurance? No. What you want to know is we're #1 in the industry for paying the death claims the fastest. Did you guys know that 95% of our death claims are paid in 14 days or less? Did you guys know that? I don't think people are aware of that. Did you know that we have the highest check per death claim? The industry's average death, I just got these numbers from Steve Madison the other day. The industry's average death claim, it's actually higher than I thought actually, is $80,000 is the average death claim when somebody dies. I think it was 80 or 90,000. Primerica's average death claim is 280,000. That's the average check we write. The question is not if we're cheap. The question is, will you pay my wife? No. Will my kids be at the mortuary embarrassed because the policy was an accidental death policy and I didn't die by accident? So I'll gladly take your $9 a month that you see on TV for a 40-year-old man, $9 a month for $500,000. But read the fine print at the bottom. It says 10-year term, right? Must requalify after 10 years. It has all these gimmicks in it. You realize they're not gonna pay my wife. They just wanna take my $9 from my checking account. But they know they have no intention on paying this claim. So we offer a great product, a great compensation plan, the best technology. No boss, no hours, no quotas, no inventory to buy in advance to try to resell for profit. We are a service-based business. And when you understand, and we're a need-based business. Now I was at a banquet last night, a guy was sitting next to me asking questions, and he said to me, he says, how do you put it? The question he asked was like, Gary, he said like, he said, where's most of your income come from? I go, well, I have a team, 1,000 agents. He goes, I mean, like, what product are you guys pushing? I said, oh, life insurance. He says, how much of your income is life insurance? I said, 98%. And Art Martin was at my table. I go, Art makes 100 grand a month. His income is 99% life. I'm about 98%. He goes, I don't know why you thought it would be securities. I thought it would be securities. He said, on life insurance? I go, yeah. And he looked at me like, how do you do that? Because life insurance is not tied to the stock market. Life insurance is not tied to interest rates. The market dumped out yesterday 1,000 points because our secretary, not secretary, but the feds announced that they're going to actually raise interest rates to try to get inflation under control. And the market didn't like that yesterday, and it dumped out basically 1,000 points on Friday. Guess what? People live and people die. Life insurance is not affected by it. Life insurance is not affected by who's the president, if a Republican's in office or a Democrat. Life insurance is very consistent. I've been living off of for 34 years, 3 decades. I built my business around the life insurance business being the base of what we do. Can you get my iPad, please? Life insurance is being the base of what we actually do. Oh, it's right here. All right. And so because I've made that surgery, as surgery has done, and BJ and April and Vivian and Jackie Bain and Arlene and Art and all my leaders, and for Simone, they built the base of the business on term life insurance. Okay, you got to make that the base of what you do. Okay, like for example, if you look at when we show the presentation to our clients, Alicia. I'll put the presentation just for a second. I want to make sure I reiterate this. It's already there. Let's see. Good job. So when you look at the presentation, right, and you see this financial house, to your right there, the illustration, and at the base of it is what? Protecting the income. So if you're new and you're listening to me, you book an appointment because you want to make $200, right, on your fast track bonus, not slow track. In the first 50 to 60 days of your career, you want to rack up as many fast track bonus checks as you can get. We give you $200. We put into an escrow account for you. Every time you put us in front of somebody that gets life insurance and the premium is over $1,000 a year, that's the minimum it has to be, which our average transaction is, and you match it with one recruit, Primerica, not Gary Kornegay, they're going to put away $200 in the escrow account for you. And by the way, if you have a cell phone, you'll actually see that money growing on your phone. You'll see what's in your actual escrow account. So if you go out and do 10 insurance sales with your trainer, even though you're not licensed, they're going to speak on your behalf. They're going to present on your behalf. If 10 people buy life insurance, you get $200 times 10. If you get 10 recruits, to match those 10 transactions. Well, that's a $2,000 check you're gonna get when you take your test and pass it in, let's say, 4 or 5 weeks. The largest check we've written in our hierarchy is $16,600. No one has broken that record yet. But Pastor Kendall out of North Carolina has the record in our hierarchy of making $16,000 while he was in training. His first check was $16,000. 5 months later, he goes on to make over $100,000 in 5 or 6 months to join the company. So the first thing I want you to do is look at this illustration and you see at the bottom, protect the income. Protect the income. If you're gonna do financial advising, whether you're heavy on the security side or whatever you do, advising side, insurance side, first thing I want you to do is realize on every appointment, we are going to offer your mama, your daddy, your cousin, your friend, your aunt, your uncle, whoever you put us in front of, if it's a financial presentation, we're gonna offer them first income protection, which is life insurance. Now, if you look to the left, you see the software that we use, financial needs analysis software, is confidential, customized, and complimentary. This financial software will give us the actual correct amount of coverage you need. Your client would need, should I say. Now, some of us do it manually by doing the dime theory, okay? Where you just draw out debt, income, mortgage, and education. That's a manual way of doing it without the software. Or you can use the software and it'll design the financial plan for your existing client or potential client. But regardless, the first thing you're gonna do is protect the income. That's why you see there at the bottom, it says life insurance. And then from there, you build on top of that. We set the budget up, the emergency fund. We put them up with, hook them up with our law firm, Parker Stanberry, and they do the actual will of living trust if they have an estate. Step 3, we help accelerate paying off their debt. Step 4, we talk about saving money for short-term investments. Step 5, we talked about putting money away for long-term, which is retirement. And step 6, we show them how to increase their cash flow. See, most people have beer money and wine taste. Like me. I had beer money, wine taste. So what did I do? Did I bring my income down to the size of my, or did I bring my dream, should I say, down to the size of my income? Or did I bring my income up to the size of my dreams? When I saw Primerica, I said, here's a chance for me to bring my income up to the size of my dreams. I don't have to compromise anymore. I don't have to cut back anymore. I still gotta be wise with my new money coming in, Primerica. But I don't have to look at the price anymore. I can now see something I want and I can get it. Or I see something I want and I can't get it today, but I could get it in the future. Versus seeing something I want. Like, for example, I remember when I was, I won't say broke. I've never been really broke, right? I think it's, you know, it depends on who you are, okay? But I've never been broke a day in my life, so I'm not gonna sit there and put that out there, okay? But I didn't have it, if that makes sense. My money was already accounted for to other bills, but I've never been broke, all right? Never went to bed hungry, never lived that life, thank the Lord, all right? When I got married, my parents gave me a house as a wedding gift, okay? Most people get a blender, or most people get a crock pot. I got a house, all right? So I started my life off, my marriage off with what? The biggest bill already paid, which is what? A roof over my head. So I didn't have the stress of paying that. The food, the electric bill, and the gas bill, pennies, all right? So, but I remember, Ashton, going to Beverly Hills, right? Just because I like to dream. Beverly Hills, by the way, Ashton, from South Central LA, the one you know as the hood. Did you know that Beverly Hills is probably 25, 30 minutes? That's it. And that's if you take the streets.
Right.
Okay, that's it. I can have you in Beverly Hills in less than 20 minutes with the weather change, where your energy shifts, lifestyle change. You see people playing tennis at night in the parks. 20 minutes going backwards, and you don't want to be in the park in the hood at night. And you go, wow, that park is lit up. Like the lights are on like a stadium. And they're out there playing tennis. People are jogging at 9 o'clock at night. In the hood, they're running at 9 o'clock at night because they did something wrong. So I wanted to live that life. So I used to always go to visit Beverly Hills. And I remember always stopping by the Rolls Royce and Bentley dealer and looking in the window. Then eventually having the guts to go inside, Vivian, and to go inside and look at a Rolls Royce. And back then, we're talking about 30 years ago, Rolls Royce is $100,000. At that time, cars were probably $10,000. And you look at these cars and you just go, I would never have that. I would never have that. Because this is Ashton, before entrepreneurship, I'm working a job, making $35 an hour. I'll never have that. I'll never have that. But I would go look at it. And I would stare at these cars and I knew I couldn't touch it. You know, some of these dealerships don't allow you to touch the car or even sit in it. And I didn't want to touch it because I don't want to make a mistake and scratch it. Okay, that'd take my whole annual pay, okay, to fix that little ding. But I would look at the car actually and go, wow, man, like what kind of money these people have? Like how do people how do you afford this? Knowing I would never have it, not working a job. And then I got in Primerica and I started going back to that same dealership after, and my energy went from being embarrassed to ask, can I take a look at it? To walk it in and say, excuse me, sir, can I take a look at this car, please? Still ain't got the money, Ashton, but I got the opportunity.
Right.
That means I got the hard part done. I found an opportunity. And I'm willing to work this opportunity. So I'm going to go in now and ask, excuse me, sir, can I see inside this car? Sure, young man. I sit inside, smell the new car smell, sit in those nice seats and go, this car seat is better than the couch in my house. All the woodwork. And you start going, oh my God, this is unbelievable. Then you gotta ask the question, right? So how much is this? 200,000, 250, 300, today 500. And you sit and go, wow, man, I got a lot of work to do in Primerica. But what I did, Vivian, I was able to say what? Instead of me bringing my dreams down to the size of my income, I can now increase my income to the size of my dreams. Now, how many Rolls Royces you think I've had now? How many Bentleys you think I've had? How many Ferraris and Lamborghinis you think I've had? Maybachs, G-Wagons. Too many Range Rovers to mention. Because my income selling term life insurance to middle-class families and lower middle-class families is how I got wealthy. I want you to write this down. It's very important. Okay? Sell to the rich.
Okay, yeah.
Sell to the rich, and I will live with the masses. Sell to the rich, and I will live with the masses. M-A-S-S-E-S. Write this down. Sell to the masses, and I will live with the rich. That's exactly how I got wealthy. Got that, Michelle? Sell to the masses. The guy who sells Kias, right? One of the cheapest cars you can buy, less expensive car. You see a lot of those on the road. Do you know the guy that actually sells Kias lives on a country club and drives a Rolls Royce? Because more people can afford a Kia than a Rolls Royce. The guy that works at a Rolls Royce dealer, I guarantee you, he does not live in a country club. He lives in a regular middle-class neighborhood. And he don't own a Rolls Royce. So when you think of Primerica, think of Gary Kornegay is wealthy because he offers a product to the masses. Get it? He offers a product to the masses. Is that ready? Okay, let me pull this up. So it's important if you're brand new, you've been around a long time, right? Stick with the volume. Sergio, you'll never go wrong if you stick with the volume. Now, I've seen people come in Primerica, Vivian, don't know nothing about nothing, and they get their education in Primerica, and they get really good with their product knowledge, and they master their craft, and they now live, basically they live literally, you know, in gated communities and country clubs. And their friends have changed now. Forget it, their friends are all entrepreneurs and millionaires. And now that person abandons the masses and starts servicing his rich friends. And he quickly learns that he ends up going out of business because he gives up the volume to go after quality. He gives up the volume to go after quality. The richest men in the world are both people who service the masses. One is dead today, but had he been alive, he would be either the first or the second richest man on the planet. His name is Sam Walton. Now, how do I know that? Because if you pull up the net worth of each one of his children, combine it together, and you'll see, because he built a retail chain store where the middle and lower middle can shop. It's not like Sears. It's not like JCPenney's. He came right below those guys. And Sears and JCPenney's are not expensive in comparison to the Neiman Marcus and the Nordstroms. But he built his business for middle and lower middle class. You've seen me draw this out before. We got the rich 1%, and then we got the 13% in our country that we consider poor. But 86% of our population is in either the upper or the lower middle class. And I want you to build your business, if you want to be wealthy, around this. You may have a few rich clients. You may have a few recruits or clients that are on Section 8 welfare government assistance. You may have a few of those. But I want you to target the young couples getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning, getting the kids off to the babysitter. They drive an SUV, and they shop at Target, and they shop at Walmart. Put in the Walmart parking lot and see if you get a parking space up front. Pull in the Target parking lot, see if you get a parking space up front. You may luck up and get one, but they're always crowded. Because Sam Walton and Jeff Bezos of Amazon Prime, they target who? The working class people. Now you would think some other billionaire, you know, some other wealthy, no disrespect, that's not a political statement, but a Donald Trump, let's just say, you know, a Donald Trump who grew up, his father was a millionaire. Oh, by the way, did you guys know that Fred Trump, Donald's dad, made all his money in the hood? Did y'all know that? Donald took his dad's wealth. His dad gave him $1 million. I wish my daddy gave me $1 million. I ain't hating. His daddy gave him $1 million, and he decided to go build in Manhattan. But his father made all that money having those multi-family apartment complexes for middle class, working class people. He was labeled almost as a slumlord. Fred Trump was known as a slumlord. What did Fred do, Pat? He sold to the masses. Therefore, he was able to live with the wealthy. His son probably grew up thinking, I'm not servicing this market. I don't like these people. I don't like this business. Got roaches in their house. I got to go in there and fix the plumbing. These people are just, He probably grew up thinking that and said, if I ever made money or take over my dad's business, I'm gonna open up in the heart of Manhattan with rich friends. Because I know a lot of rich people because Donald went to a boarding school. So he went to a different environment. You know, Jared Kushner, which is Donald Trump's daughter's husband, Donald Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, his father also is actually richer than Donald Trump. Do you know Jared Kushner's father spent time in prison? Do you know what his father did for a living? He owned apartment buildings, selling to the masses. So I'm saying to you, you're blue collar, you're a school teacher, police officer. I was an EMT making $5.90 an hour. I was at the lower part of the middle class. I wasn't broke enough to qualify for welfare Section 8. But I wasn't rich enough to live in the Beverly Hills and shop at the Rolls Royce dealer and buy a car. But what did Primerica do for me? What did this great company do for me and Pat? It took us from $5.90 an hour. That was my hourly wage, and I joined Primerica. Okay? Lower middle class, lower middle class. Thank God my daddy gave me a house. I probably would have qualified for food stamps and welfare. Thank God Pat worked for the city of LA and we got our benefits through the city of Los Angeles. So I was lower middle class. Watch this, folks. Watch this. Pay attention. My first year in Primerica, I made $31,000. My second year in Primerica, I made $78,000. My third year, I made $123,000. Now look how fast I jumped to the 1%. Now back then, 100,000 was the 1%. I think 100,000 now, Gary, run that number for me. I think 100,000 will put you in the top 5%. But in 1990, making $10,000 a month, selling term life insurance, I'm all of 29 years old. At 25, I'm broke. At 29, I'm making $10,000, $15,000 a month. And guess who my clients were, Michelle? My neighborhood. Mother Campbell at my church. Sister Nadine. Jonathan Bibbins, who worked for the post office. My clients were people within my community. I told you I grew up in a home. My parents gave me a home. So I lived on a street where everybody was homeowners. But they were working class people. They got up in the morning, they had to go to work and then get back home till 6 or 7 o'clock at night. Yeah. So when I was doing my appointments, I was going to see what? People within my church. What's it over here?
It says according to the US, the percentage of Americans making over 100,000 a year was 24%.
24% today.
2020.
In 2020, 24% of the people are making 100,000 a year. Has that changed? Oh my God. Now making 100,000 is no money, Michelle. Now it's like 100,000. How you live on that?
Yeah, 250.
So Gary's doing 250.
The income percentile calculated for the U.S. income average median.
You can have as many as you want. There's no limit here.
There you go. So Gary found the top 1% at 250. So if you make 250 like Vivian, did you know that you're the top 1%? I mean, you may not, what you saying? What you saying?
it says top was rotating. So it says 250 and up is getting to the top 1%. Because 5% of the population makes of the US makes 250.
Okay, of the United States. Okay, so you're staying within the United States, it's 5%. So you make 250,000, Vivian, you're at 300, you're in the top 5%. So get on, whenever you get frustrated, Vivian, here's what I want you to do. You gonna do it, Vivian? Are you paying attention? Whenever you get frustrated, Vivian, I want you to get on the 10 freeway, okay? In traffic, which is any time of the day in California, do the 10 freeway. I want you to drive from your house to downtown LA, okay, in traffic, and say, I made more than 95% of these people on the freeway. Count every car, every 100 car, go, I made more than, out of 100 cars on the freeway, I made more than 95% of these people. And that guy to the right is probably going to tell me, no, I don't want to do Primerica. That thing you're doing. And the time freedom, exactly. If you equate time to assets, time to value, yes, her 300,000, her $25,000 a month. Like Vivian's been paying already like 19,000 this month. We're talking about a single Hispanic woman who used to work in the fitness business is now making 20,000 to 25,000, and this woman is consistently doing that. Consistently pulling 20, 25,000 a month. I think, are you 30 years old yet, Vivian? I think you just turned 30. Am I right about that, Gary? You just turned 30 years old. And you're already in the top 5% of the income. We're talking about doctors, lawyers, ball players, entertainers, political figures. And you're already, you just turned 30. You were already there. You made 300,000. How were you? Were you 28 when you went over 300?
Yeah. No, I think I had just turned, I was 28.
Yeah, 28 years old, making over $300,000 a year at 28. And here you are now, 30. So now you're making 300,000 3 years in a row. You made 900,000, girl, in the 3 years. The last 3 years, you've been paid almost $1 million. Selling term insurance. You don't do loans. You don't have your securities license yet. You built an insurance business that pays you $20,000 to $30,000 a month. Young, beautiful, Hispanic lady in a male-dominated financial services industry. This is the opportunity you have because you sold to the masses. You followed the system, Vivian, and you didn't try to go talk to your bougie, rich friends. You may know one or two of them now. You got a lot of rich, you're rich now. So you may have a couple of friends that are bougie and they don't even come on this side of Crenshaw, you know, and they wealthy, and you may have a few, but don't try to go sell to them. Don't you abandon that market. Don't you forget where you're from, got your nails done, lashes done. You now drive one of the top-notch, brand new modern Mercedes. You go to a Mercedes-Benz dealer now and sit in the service department, and you probably are reading the Wall Street Journal, you know, while you're in the service department in the Mercedes-Benz dealer, and you sit next to some other person. When you used to let your cousin do your brakes back when you had your Kia. You let your next door neighbor do your tires.
Larry.
Yeah, Larry's tires in the hood on Western. Are you with me? And now all of a sudden you now got, you know, service department, and they give you coffee and lattes, and all of a sudden you start talking to the lady next to you, and she's got her nails done, lashes done, hair done, and she has a Cocker Spaniel, or one of the dogs that Arlene got, that bougie dog.
Pomeranian.
A Pomeranian. Arlene's dog's name is Chanel. Arlene's from the hood, and she has this white Pomeranian with her convertible Mercedes. And Arlene's wearing, you know, Louis Vuitton and Gucci and Chanel, and And she's from the hood, and she starts hanging out with people that look like her now, talk like her, walk like her. But she abandons the middle class, and she quickly learns that her income's going down. She had removed her spirit from the middle class. She don't know how to talk to the middle class. The middle class don't even want her anymore because she left them. So when I said sell to the rich, live with the masses, sell with the masses, live with the rich, we have a product, ladies and gentlemen, that allows you to sit down with a young family and protect them. And our philosophy is the oldest philosophy in financial services. It's a graph that has changed my life forever. And that graph, I'm gonna do it differently. Let me just move back here for a second. I'm gonna color code this. This here is called the theory of decreasing responsibility. The theory of decreasing responsibility. This here, Vivian, is what we do. This is what we do. All wrapped up on one slide. This made me, Vivian, $20 million so far. Vivian, this provides a passive income for my family of $50,000 a week. Dead or alive. Vivian, what I'm gonna show you right now, if you stick with this, Vivian, and don't let anybody deter you from this, you will never be broke a day of your life if you could teach an army to do what I'm gonna show you. You will never struggle. Here it is. Term life. Insurance. That's that red line. We offer a 35-year level term. So if you want to put the word level, go ahead and put the level. Level term life insurance. We're the only company in North America that sells a 35-year level term. I quote you in 2022, this policy does not come up for renewal until 2057. I want you to look at those dates, Vivian. From 2022 to 2057, you're on a flat rate that does not go up on you, and the face amount does not go down. Giving you time to get your affairs in order in terms of responsibility. The theory of what? Increasing or decreasing? Decreasing responsibility. Is Art Williams, the founder of Primerica, a simple genius? Because he knows that if a 25-year-old Gary Kornegay is starting out in life with young kids, he has a mortgage. He just bought a nice home, let's just say, little nice middle-class American home, white picket fence with a Pomeranian. He has some debt. Maybe he's a professional guy, he has some student loan debt. credit card, car loans. A car loan on his Honda for him and a car loan on his Kia for his wife. And he is in his working years. He is in his working years. See, at that age of 25 years old, Arlene, Gary has the highest risk, the highest financial risk. See, if Gary lost his job, Vivian, tomorrow, and could not provide for his family because there's a loss of income, those kids would be displaced, living with aunts and uncles and grannies. It would probably take a toll on Gary's marriage because 80% of all divorces is because of financial arguments. So if Gary lost his job tomorrow and could not provide income for, let's say, 6 months, would that put a strain, Vivian, on that relationship? If I sat around the house, Monte, and Pat said, how's it going with the job seeking? And I go, can't find one. And she may be positive for about a month, Vivian, but that's okay, baby. You know, you keep searching. I thank the Lord I'm working. I'll try to hold the bills as best I can. 2 months go by. Pat says, how's the job searching going? I go, honey, I'm overqualified. You know what Pat's gonna start saying? We're gonna have to cut back on something around here. So I already cut off the Hulu and the Amazon Prime. I've cut off the cable TV. Thank God the kids are on Instagram and TikTok. That's keeping them busy. 3 months go by, Monte. My wife goes, how's the job searching going? And I go, I still can't find a job yet, honey. You know what she's gonna say? We gotta cut back on the cell phone. All the kids don't need cell phones. So they go and start taking the cell phones from the kids and cutting off those family packages. 4 months go by, Monte. And my wife, Pat, go, how's the job searching going? And I go, well, I do have one job offer on the table. Now, I know I was making $60,000 a year working at Enterprise Rent-A-Car, but because of the pandemic, they laid me off. But I do have a job offer at Home Depot. Doing what? Bringing the baskets in from the parking lot. They're gonna start me at $16 an hour before taxes. Well, that ain't $60,000 a year, honey, but it's $28,000. She says, well, don't take that job. That'll help out a little bit. Before you know it, Pat starts thinking, we don't need 2 cars, honey. I could catch the train to work. That would save us $400 a month. Are you with me? We go from a PPO to an HMO health insurance plan. Folks, 8 months later, I finally find a job that could put me back on track. How much damage, Gary, you think was done in 8 months of me being unemployed? Damage that some of it is my credit's messed up. We had a few arguments over money. My kids are out of private school. I'm behind on the mortgage. I'm behind on the car note. I've been borrowing from people to pay part. I racked up all the credit cards and maxed them out. So now that I'm back on track, I'm not really on track anymore. They go, Gary, why are you talking about the story about this guy who lost his job? But what if he died? Would that be a permanent job loss? We're talking about 3 months of not having money. We're now talking about a death is a permanent loss of income. So for the first 35 years, Vivian, you're gonna talk to me and my wife about protecting my income until the kids are grown, house is paid, debt's paid, and I reach age 60, 65. So you're gonna say, Mr. Kornegay, based upon your dime theory, D stands for debt. I, income. M, mortgage. E, education. Based on this, Mr. Kornegay, you say you got $40,000 in debt. Your income is $50,000 a year. You want to have at least 10 times that. So 50,000 times 10 is 500,000. You say you own your home 360,000, and you want to send your kids to college. Well, based on the cost of inflation at college is 7%, you're gonna need 100,000 for G2 and 100,000 for Kristen to go to college when they're ready 13, 14 years from now. So that's 200,000. This Kornegay, based on that, you need 5, 8, that's 1 million, that's 1.1 million of not life insurance, y'all, protection. Income protection. This is protecting your income, Mr. Kornegay. We know your birth date, we don't know your death date.
May I ask a question, Mr. Kornegay?
Yeah, sure, go ahead, Melissa.
What happens if you're, let's say I buy a house right now with my income and my mother's income, and then she was to pass away a year from now. Is there some type of insurance, even though it may be costly, through Primerica that can protect that her income, that can help me if she were to pass away?
How old is she?
She's 98, but she's going to contribute her money as long as she's alive to that. We're going to buy the house together. But say she passes away in a year, is there some type of insurance that I could take out? Just say I don't make, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to make it with Primerica. I'm going to do what I can, but I'm working almost 60 to 80 hours a week. That's for a person 68. That's a lot for me. But whatever energy I got left, I'm going to try to get some more people promoted. You know what I mean? As recruits, and do what I can to help families. But just right now, if somebody was to ask me, or say I have the need, right, immediate need, it would be sensible for me to take out a policy. Is there one available for a situation like that, where there's two people's income are contributing to the house payment and one of them passes away? Is there some protection? But she's too old to take out insurance right now. So there's no insurance on her.
Right. Well, first of all, she's 98 years old.
Right.
You said income protection. Is she still working? She has income coming from.
I want the protection in case she dies a year from now. If we buy the house together, who's going to help me? We're both paying. I need her contribution still. This is what I'm saying. What happened to her?
I understand that. My question to you is, you need her contribution, but she's 98. Are you saying that if you want to buy a house with your 98-year-old mother, are you saying she should be working and providing?
No, she's not working. She has a retirement of 2,000 something a month. Okay. She has a retirement. So I'm using her income to buy the house to qualify.
I understand that, right? So you're using her income, she's 98, and you say you're 68 years old?
Yeah, I'm going to be 68 September 1st. Okay,
so this is perfect, okay? Because I'm going to finish my presentation. I'm going to answer your question right now.
Okay.
That's why I said this one slide is what everybody in Primerica should master. The theory of decreasing responsibility, not increasing. So that 25-year-old Gary Kornegay, Mona Lisa, who has young kids, brand new house, some credit cards and student loans, and he's in his working years working at UPS. We put a 35-year term on him, 35-year level term. We had 35 years to his age before it's up for renewal. The policy now comes up, it's time for him to renew it. But if you add 35 years to age 25, I'm what? Is that 60? I'm 50, I'm 60 years old. So now at age 60, you come over here and you say, okay, Mr. Kornegay, thank God you didn't die. You have longevity in your family. Your mother's 98 in your case. Man, I'd give anything to get my mother to live to 98. She died at 75. My daddy left at 72.
She's
Your
98.
mom, your mom will make 100 years old. Okay.
She's healthy too. She's healthy. She can run circles around me, actually.
Man, I would love to meet her and talk to her and just hold her hand and see if I can steal some of that energy from her. Okay. but she's 98 years old, which is way, way, way past this philosophy. Okay.
Yeah. She lived a long time.
Yeah, keep it real with you. Okay. You got longevity in your blood. God bless you.
Thank
okay?
you. God bless
To be
you.
able to help your mom. All right. So watch this now. We're going to revisit Gary, Mona Lisa, at age 60. He's going to get a letter from Primerica saying your 35-year term, okay, is now up for renewal. Now, the goal is for Vivian to revisit me, and it goes like this. Well, Gary, thank God you lived. You're 60 years old now. Let's reassess your lifestyle. And she says, now, how's it going at UPS? And I go, well, guess what? I retired. All right, great. Now, how's little Gary and Kristen doing? Little Gary, he's known as G1, G2, by the way. He is grown. Remember when you came to my house, Vivian, he was 5 years old. He's now 40 years old. My daughter is 5 years younger. She's 35. They're married. They got families. And now my son is a doctor. My daughter is, let's say she's a school teacher or a politician, God forbid, right? But they're on their own, Vivian. So you're not responsible for them anymore? No, I'm not responsible for them. Okay. Now, what about that mortgage? Vivian, remember you showed me how to pay my home off early. So I don't even have a mortgage on my house anymore. I own it free and clear. So my mortgage is paid. What about those student loans and car loans, right? Well, guess what? I paid all that stuff off as well over the course of 35 years. I'm not out Nordstrom swiping credit cards anymore. I'm not trying to keep with the Joneses anymore. You know, I wear the same pair of jeans every day now. I ain't got to wear no fancy, clothes every day to impress my broke friends. I've gotten past that. I wear t-shirts and jeans every day. Okay, great. So now you're out of debt. And you're what? I'm retired. So Gary, your need for insurance is not as strong. No, it's not, Vivian. So what do you want to do, Gary? Well, I do have a granddaughter. In this case, I have probably multiple grandchildren at that point. And I don't need it because their parents already got them covered, because the parents are now covered with $3 million each. Let's assume that my son, his wife, and my daughter and husband, they get properly covered. If they die, their kids are fine. I'm not responsible for taking care of my grandchildren. But guess what? I do want to keep the same policy. I don't want it to lapse. So what I will do is this. I'll keep the premium the same. So let's give it a number. Vivian gave me $1 million of coverage. Let's say it cost me $200 a month. Let's just say that's the number. 35 years from now, I don't want to increase my $200 a month. So I don't want this to go up. Okay? I don't want this to go up. I'm back the other way. Okay? I don't want my rate to go up. I want this to stay the same. Primerica says, Gary, if you want to keep your rate $200 a month, you are 60 years old, you're no longer 25, we'll leave it that way, but that $200 a month is now going to buy less coverage. So you still pay $200, but now that $1.1 million, we're going to drop it down to $1 million. Next year, $950,000. Next year, $920,000. Next year, $900,000. Next year, $892,000. Next year, $888,000. So what they do is they decrease the coverage out, but my rate stays the same. And it does this, Miss Mona Lisa, it does this all the way to age 100. Did you guys know that? They take the $1,000,001 based on my age. At that point, I'm 60. That's 40 years. 40 years to age 100. And they incrementally take the $1,000,000 and chop it into 40 years, and it drops, the face amount drops incrementally to fit in to age 100, where now it's no face amount at all. I am now, in your case, your mom's 98, Miss Mona Lisa. Her need for insurance is not there. Yes, mom, it has $2,000 a month coming in for retirement. That will help you qualify for a brand new home, but you're 68 years old, not 38 or 28. So most people that are 68 are paying their homes off. They're not buying a new house with a 98-year-old. So you're in a rare situation. God bless you. I hope I live as long as your mom to be able to say, me and my daughter are buying a home. I mean, think about that, Gary, 98-year-old person buying a home.
It's the same age.
Well,
58, 68, 98.
Yeah,
That's me
and
and you.
I'm assuming that if you're buying the home at 68, let's just say, I'm using your words, mom's income is going to help you qualify for that house. Okay.
Yeah.
But most people, Mona Lisa, what are they doing at 68, less than 98? They're selling their houses. They're downsizing. They're going from a 5-bedroom because the kid's been gone. Those rooms have cobwebs. Those rooms have cobwebs in it, or you're probably renting out to a college student.
Okay. Well, I had my home taken from me. Excuse me, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I had my home taken from me in 2004 because of a back injury that I sustained working 4 floors of a hospital. Such hard work. They said, Mona Lisa, you are the best unit support associate this hospital ever had. I worked so hard, I injured my back. And they only paid me for a little therapy, and HUD took my home away from me. They said, you got to be out of your house on such and such a date. It's up for auction. And that was it. I didn't know what to do, and I lost my home behind Walmart, a beautiful home, 4-bedroom. I had it all ready to paint the walls and in like a jungle and everything. I had everything in it. I had even the unit in the garage where the vacuum is silent. I was a home to raise my daughter, and they took it from me. So I had to live in my car for 8 years and fought for the union. So I'm hungry to buy that home, and I want to fulfill my mother's dream. She's 98 years old. I know that we don't know how long she has. She may live another 10 years. She may live another year. We don't know. But my dream and her dream is to see her daughter back in the house that was stolen from her.
I understand that. So now you have a crusade going. This has nothing to do with you need a house. This has everything to do with you have an itch that you want to scratch. You know, I understand that, okay?
Well, I have a dream I need to fulfill, and I need to make money to keep this house. And I'm just saying, is there any kind of insurance that I can take out that can protect her portion until I make it big? You know what I mean? What happens if she's to die from a year? We go buy a house this week. Say we put the $15,000 down for a home, because I already know we went and looked at one last week. And my income, because now I'm working 60 to 80 hours a week in security with Transwest Security. I have a good job. I'm going to be making over $4,000 a month. Finally, I can pay my bills. I went out and got it right now because I needed it right now. I need a big income. I got a lot of bills. And I got my new Primerica insurance policy, $420 a month, which I'm very glad and proud to have now because it's good insurance. And I need to pay everything though. I'm tired of not being able to pay my bills. So I went out and got a job right now. And I'm working 12-hour days out in the hot sun. And I'm doing it. It doesn't matter. I have injuries. I have 2 head injuries that I just sustained at the other job. That's why I quit. There was poor management. So anyway, I'm good now. I have a good job. I'm making, like I said, 5 days a week. I can even work weekends if I want. So that's almost an 80-hour week. Can you believe I could work it if I wanted to, but I'm working the 60 and I'm going to devote the weekend to what energy I can give to Primerica. But still, what would I do if I bought the house right now with my mother and something happened to her and I needed help right now to make the payments because I need her income, but she dies. She has no insurance. Is there some type of a policy? I just want to know out there in Primerica. No,
Let me tell you why. The answer is no. Okay. I want everybody. These are, by the way, I hope you guys will listen to this conversation. Okay. First of all, Miss Mona Lisa, your energy is off the freaking chart. Okay? So whatever your family is drinking, smoking, eating, you should put it in a box and sell it. Okay. Okay. You can make money selling that for sure. All right. But you're 68 years old. You're more driven than 28-year-olds. In fact, I just got a job right now. I'm willing to work weekends. I go, this woman is not settling down. Your friends are probably all going, what is wrong with this woman?
It's love. It's love. It's love for my family.
Yes, well, let me tell you this. The reason that there's no insurance for mom, because the insurance policies are all calibrated to age 100. Period. All the actuaries, every policy ever written takes a person to age 100. So once you live past 100, then your children, your baby's probably 80 years old. In your case, you're 68, mama is 98. That's exactly the age difference between me and my son. I'm 30 years older than him. So when I'm 98, he's 68. Okay. Yeah. But the need for insurance is not there. Here's my advice to you. You're in Primerica now. You're going to buy a brand new home because you got to itch to scratch. Okay. And I really believe that's the way. You buy a new home, you're going to get a 30. Okay. But you're going to get a 30-year loan at age 68. If you don't miss a payment, you're going to pay it off at age 98. Okay. Which is your mom's age. Okay. Now, that's something that you want to fulfill. That's your dream. You want to get it done, go get it done. The $2,000 a month that mom is bringing in to help pay that note. If mom passed away tomorrow with no insurance, you're in Primerica now. You're going to make the extra $2,000 a month with us. You're going to make it. You're going to make the $2,000 a month to keep the house. You're not going to lose the house anymore because now you're in Primerica. You're an entrepreneur. You dictate your own paycheck. You determine how much you want to make. You want to take a day off, a week off, a month off, a year off, or you want to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You have the power now to really write your own paycheck. So you're not going to lose your house because you're now in a business that pays you what you're worth, not letting the man tell you what you're worth. But mama don't need insurance, okay?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much for your input.
Now, what part of the country are you in?
I'm in Bakersfield, California.
So I gotta come see. I gotta come see. I gotta take you to lunch. I want to pick your brain.
Oh.
Welcome to the team. All right. So that was a great dialogue, okay? Because it makes my point even better. What a beautiful story. That she is a 68-year-old daughter with a 98-year-old living mom who is active.
You're making me cry. Thank you, Mr. Kornegay. I really appreciate you and all your input. Thank you.
Yeah, Mona Lisa, I lost my mom and dad in their 70s. If God would tell me tomorrow I bring them back to age 98, I'd do anything I can. If God said, okay, I'll put them back on planet Earth, Gary. I won't cut them off at 72 and 75. I'll take them to 98. What you need me to do? Give away all my wealth, sell every home I got, sell my business? I do it tomorrow. To have an energetic 98-year-old mom and dad alive, that'll be worth it. And I go live on the beach in Mexico somewhere and be broke in a shack, but I'll be with my mom and my daddy. Okay, so you've been blessed already. You're wealthy already. You just don't know it. You already got wealth because you got your health, you got your mom still alive, and she's energetic, coherent, actively out there doing it with you. That's crazy. All right, what a blessing you have. All right. So now,
thank you so much. I don't take a minute for granted. Yes.
Yes, do not take that for granted. Now watch this. We now know that the term insurance that Vivian sold me is not going to cancel. There's a myth out there saying your term is going to cancel. That's a lie. That is not Primerica's coverage. We do not cancel you in 35 years. We give you an option. Keep the payment $200 a month and we will decrease your policy out. Or you can say, no, I want to keep my coverage the same. I don't want to decrease it. I want to keep my insurance the same. Then at that point, Primerica says, well, if you want to keep the $1.1 million past 35 years, we're going to raise your rates. So now instead of being $200 a month, it's going to be $310. The next year it's going to be $415. The next year is going to be $470. I'm just showing you, I don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to go up because why? You're now 61, 62, 63. You're asking the company to continue to take the same risk. See, death is what? For certain. We insured you at such a low cost because you were 25 and healthy. And we understand you need it because you had little Gary and Kristen around the house when they were 5 and 1 years old. And you just bought a brand new house at the time. When we come back and revisit you in 35 years, your scenario should be like Mona Lisa's, where the kids are grown, the 98-year-old mother, the 68-year-old daughter. And therefore, mommy's not responsible anymore for the 68-year-old daughter. They're now best friends who happen to be mother and daughter. Now, if Gary Kornegay wants to offset this or this, what should he have done? At age 25, start saving, fully fund my IRA, put $400 a month away in a Roth IRA, tax-free, and let that $400 a month grow compounded with compound interest. When I reach age 65, 35 years of saving $400 a month, fully funding my IRA, Pat's fully funding her IRA. Let's say I'm sitting over here with $1,300,000 in my mutual fund that was in a Roth IRA. I'll clean this up a little bit. So my mutual fund was in a Roth. No taxes, tax-free. So when Vivian comes back to say, Mr. Kornegay, what do you want to do with this $1.1 million policy? You want to decrease it out and keep the payment $200 a month? Or you want to keep it and let it go up every single year from this day forward? I go decrease it out, girl. Why? Because I'm sitting on $1.3 million in a separate account that you had set up for me when I was 25 years old. If I die tomorrow, my wife gets my mutual fund money and this $1,900,000, $920,000, whatever that is, it just decreases out. But I already got the $1 million, girl. I bought $1 million until I got $1 million. Ooh, that's so awesome. I got $1 million from you at $200. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You have to understand life insurance. You are buying money. You are buying money. Term. I'm not getting the color I want. I'm trying to get black. Term life equals buying money. Term life is buying money. Now, what does that mean? Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead,
So
Mona
it's
Lisa.
essential then to encourage them when they get the life insurance, the term life insurance, to also put some money in the Roth IRA through Primerica, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. Okay. So the end result is what you were just speaking. Okay, I'll be quiet.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You're gonna get this. Now watch this, Miss Mona Lisa. It's because you told me when I was 25, young man, start saving money, because one day money's gonna save you. Right now, you don't have a lot of money because you just had a brand new baby and a new mortgage, and you got some credit card debt, and you're working at UPS. But if you could put some money aside from the policy I sold you, I only sold this policy to buy you time. I'm trying to buy you some time to let this $400 grow. It ain't gonna grow overnight, but with compound interest and the rule of 72 and dollar cost averaging. I'll explain that in a minute. This $400 will grow potentially. We don't know for sure because nobody has a crystal ball, nobody's psychic. But if it averages 5%, 6%, 9%. Over time, you potentially will have that money. Now, look what happens. Little Gary's grown, Kristen's grown. They're not even there anymore, dependent on you. You're out of the woods in terms of your financial responsibility. But the reason I wanted you to buy term insurance, because term insurance means you're buying money until you get your own money. You're buying money until you get your own money. What is life insurance? I'm buying money until I get my own. When I get my own money, I don't need Primerica. I may still have it as a gift to my grandchildren, but I don't need it. Right now, I need it because I'm 25 with a 5-year-old son running around the house. So I'm gonna call Miss Vivian, Mr. Term Life, and say, I need a policy. How much, sir? Can somebody give me a rate real quick so I can get real numbers? Jack, you wanna do that for me real quick? Somebody give me a real rate on a 25-year-old healthy Gary Kornegay, 35-year term. In 2022, I want $1 million coverage, non-tobacco. Not preferred, but give me non-tobacco. Now, as they're doing the math on that, let's continue to roll with the concept. So Gary's going to buy $1 million. I'm going to the store. What's the store? The money store. What money store? You can't buy money. You can borrow money, but you can't buy money. Well, that's a lie. You can go to an insurance company, that's their job, and they sell you a policy. They're selling you money called term insurance. If I die tomorrow, my family gets a check for $1 million. Now I'm gonna ask the insurance company at 25 years old, non-smoker, in good health, what will you charge me every month for that $1 million of money I'm buying? What's the rate?
25 years old, non-tobacco. It's $155.33 a month.
So $155.33 a month. Okay, we'll buy 1 million. I give them 155 the month of August. I die in September, they pay $1 million. I only paid $155. Shoot, in California, that's a tank of gas for the week. I paid $155 and I bought $1 million. Now I'm not trying to die tomorrow. So let's say I live 35 years. Times 12, what is that times 12? Jackie, what is that times 12? Jack, what's my annual premium? Can we live day by day? We don't live month by month.
$1,863.
So I'm paying Jackie, your insurance company, $1,800 a year. This is gonna make so much sense. You're gonna love me for this.
35 years later, it's only $65,000.
Now watch this, Jackie. Hold that thought. Watch this, Jackie. $1,863 a year works out to be $155.33 a month. Take that $155.33 and divide it into 30 days of the month, Miss Jackie.
$5.17.
$5.17 a day. Folks, we live day by day. We don't live month by month. We don't live year by year. We live day by day. I'm paying $5. That is a caramel macchiato, extra hot, easy foam at Starbucks. $5.17. And no longer go to Starbucks. Cut out Starbucks. Go to 7-Eleven, it's 59-cent free refills. And you can take a Starbucks cup with you if you just want to look bougie. but you pay $5.17 for how much money? $1 million a day. If I live a month, I gave you $155. If I live a year, I gave you $1,863 a year. Well, you sold me a 35-year term. 35 years. What am I going to give you, Jackie? What's the premium?
65,000.
How much?
65,000.
I'm going to give your insurance company $65,000 over 35 years, and not if I die, but when I die, you got to give my family how much? $1 million. They're in a mutual fund or an investment or real estate that you could buy for $65,000, and in 35 years is worth $1 million. Unless you find out your property is sitting on an oil well. But I just bought $1 million for $65,000 over 35 years. Now, of course, I would have to die the next day. But if I keep living like Mona Lisa and her mama, and let's say I pay another, let's say I don't die at age 60 years old. I die at age 80. I live another 20 years. And now my rates is going to go up if I keep the $1 million. But in this case, I told you I'm not going to keep the $1 million. I'm going to let it decrease out. But folks, where can you go and pay $65,000 for $1 million check? And death is for certain. It's not like you might die. It's just a matter of when.
Hey, Coach.
Yes.
So I did the 155 or the annual times, even if it went up 4 times, that would be an additional 148,000 on top of the 65,000. No, a total of 148,000 on top of the 65,000. Yes, still it's worth it.
So if I gave him 65,000 and you said I'll live another how long?
20 years.
So if I live another 20 years to age 80 years old, by the way, my son is at that point, he's 50 years old. Why is he waiting for me to die to take care of him? He's 50. He got grandkids probably. Okay, but I gave Primerica, based on that rate she just told me, $213,000. I gave you $213,000, you give my wife $1 million. I'll take that all day, any day. I beat the house. You know how the house beats me? If I let this lapse and I pay $1,800 for 5 years, and my friend talks about some BS infinite banking, and I cancel Primerica. Now Primerica keeps my 1,863 times 5 times 10. I let it lapse. Now the house beat me because now I have no insurance and they kept the premiums. I would never let this lapse once I get approved. When I die, Primerica gonna cry, not my wife. They're gonna go, no, he died. Gary died. Yep. No, we gotta give Pat $1 million. Yep. He only gave us 65,000. This is bull crap. Sorry. He knew death was coming and you knew it was too. You just didn't know what day he was gonna die. You lost. We thought he would lapse it. We thought he would cancel it. We thought he would pay us for 10 years and quit. We make all our money on people lapsing. How much money do you think companies make on people lapsing and leaving the premiums? Never died, paid 6 months, 6 years, 10 years, gave the company $20,000 and canceled the policy. And the guy dies a year later and they ain't got to give his wife a dime, but he gave him $20,000. This is the beauty of what we do. I told you it started out with this philosophy. This is A.O. Williams. This is Primerica, our philosophy. But the whole life guys, you know what they do? They lie. They go own your own bank. Infinite banking. They call them everything. What did Gerbers call it? The grow-up plan. They got all these fake names. And they sell you a whole life policy. You know what a whole life policy is? Don't ever buy this crap. Don't ever buy anything with a cash value. Whole life, the insurance agent lies to you and he says it's permanent. I don't know, it's spelled permanent, doggone it.
Perm, P-E-R-M.
I don't know why I spelled it wrong, P-E-R-M.
We know what you mean.
Whatever, okay? I don't know why I can't spell all of a sudden, okay? So they tell you it's permanent insurance, okay? It's a lie. It's impossible to give me permanent insurance because life ain't permanent. It's a lie. How can you give me permanent insurance when death is for certain?
Right.
You know what they're really selling you? If you're 25 years old, every policy ends at age 100. Miss Mona Lisa, when mama get to 100, if I did sell her right now, a policy at 98, do you know every company at age 100, your policy matures and it's over? That's right, because they calibrated it based on life expectancy. Men live to 70, women live to 77. These are calibrated. That's how they figure out your rate. They do an estimate. They do a guesstimate. And before they write one rate, they go, can you do me a research, please? And they go out and do a focus group and research. They say men live to 70, women live to 77. That's the norm, that's the average. Now, Mona Lisa's gonna live to 130, okay? But we're not gonna be based on Mona Lisa. We're gonna base on the average person. Well, okay, great. We'll insure them to age 100, whether it be whole life or term. So when an agent tells you it's permanent, he's lying. What he gave you is a 75-year term. He gave you a 75-year term. But instead of paying, what was the number we said? 1 million? 155? Instead of paying 155 for $1 million level 35-year term, guess what he does? He says, well, mine's is permanent. You ain't got to renew it in 35 years. It's going to take you, Ms. Johnson, all the way out to age 35. I mean, to age 100. Well, then it does end then. It does end. You told me it's permanent. No, it ends at 100. So then you sell me a 75-year term. Now, what's my rate for that term? Well, the same face amount of $1 million gonna cost you $700 a month. But you ain't gotta worry about it going up on you, Miss Johnson. See, those Primerica people gonna raise your rate. We ain't gonna raise your rate. Fool, you're not gonna raise my rate because you raised my rate already. Yeah, of course you're not gonna raise my rate. You already raised my rate. Dummy, right? You tell the insurance agent, you're a dummy. Why? Because you think I'm a dummy. You're gonna sell me a permanent policy for 6 times more. And you tell me don't buy this from Jackie Bain because this is gonna go up on me in the 35th year. Well, guess what? I'd rather let this go up from 155 to 400 a month. But in the year 2057, when minimum wage is $32 an hour, well, actually a little more than that, actually. Minimum wage would be $60 an hour based on inflation. Minimum wage, your grandson will come home and go, Granny, I got a job at Chipotle in the mall. Now, baby, what they paying you? Well, right now, they only paying me $60 an hour. But it's 2057, BJ. So if 60 bucks an hour is the minimum, the $400 that Primerica gonna charge me in 35 years from now is equivalent to $155 when the minimum wage is $15 an hour. Who understands where I'm going with this? I'd rather delay paying Primerica $400 by locking in for 35 years at $155 and give me time to raise my kids, get them out of the house. And if I have to raise the rate to $400 for whatever reason, I don't know why I'm doing that at age 65, but let's say I do want to keep it. But I'd rather pay $400 in 2057 than to pay $700 a month in 2022 under some BS that you're gonna give me a cash value. And all you're doing is charging me $700. Well, I'm on a roll right now. All you're doing is charging me $700, getting to the damn office and deducting the $155 for the policy. You're doing the same thing Jackie did. Because you gotta pay for the insurance, it ain't free. So I'm giving you $700 a month. When you get back to your corporate office, State Farm, they deduct the coverage of $155 a month for the million. They take out the premiums. So I'm overpaying you in this case by $545 a month under the guise that you're gonna be saving this money for me. Sorry, I'm trying to write on glasses a little harder, okay? I wanna do it right. So I'm overpaying. I'm overpaying $545 a month. And you're telling me you're taking my savings or my premiums and you're gonna put it in the cash value. But the first year, nothing. Second year, nothing. Third year, nothing. Fourth year, nothing. Fifth year, nothing. I'm paying you $6,000 a year, $6,000, let's just round down, because $500 a month is more than $6,000 a year. It's actually $6,500 a year. I'm paying you $6,500 a year in over premiums under the boogeyman guideline of Primerica's gonna raise your rate. You use the boogeyman and try to scare me and say, well, if you buy term, it's gonna run out on you. If you don't die, you don't get nothing. Say that slow, Mr. Insurance Agent. If you don't die, you don't get nothing. Well, I got some news for you. Everybody's gonna die, number one. Number two, if I don't die, I'm not supposed to get nothing. I'm not dead. That's it. Well, if you don't wreck your car, you don't get nothing. Yeah, that's the way it works. If you don't use your health insurance, you don't get nothing. Well, that's the way it's supposed to work. Well, if your refrigerator doesn't go out, your warranty doesn't work, you've been paying for that. Yeah, I don't want my refrigerator to go out. You see the kind, when you say it slow, you go, that's a stupid statement that guy made. If I don't die, I don't get my money. I gave him all that money. But with your policy, I die, I overpaid by $6,500. And then when I needed money out of my cash value, you kept the first 5 years. And we're gonna guarantee you 3% with no taxes taken out. We'll give you more, but here at Prudential, we're gonna guarantee you 3%. Well, guess what? You can guarantee me 3%. But until you guarantee me 500%,
That's right.
I ain't in the red yet, in the black yet, because you kept 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%. So 500% is my loss. Who's keeping up with me on this? I'm losing 500%. So you can give me 3%. I mean, I was born that night, but not last night. But how many people are buying this policy because they're scared that the term is going to go up. So they're paying up now versus paying up later. And I'm saying to you that if you file the fear decrease responsibility, you ain't going to go up. You're going to go down on your face amount because your kid ain't 5, he's now 40. Term insurance is just like car insurance, health insurance, homeowners insurance, disability insurance, name an insurance that pays you before you file a claim. Life insurance, health insurance, disability, long-term care, liability, homeowners, auto, warranties on items in your house. These are all policies. What are other insurances that are out there, y'all? Speak up if you see me forgetting some. There's a whole arsenal of insurances.
Cell phone insurance.
Huh?
Security.
It's cell phone insurance.
Cell phone, that's a warranty.
Dental. Security.
Security insurance, what is that? Explain that to me. When you say security insurance, what does that mean?
Actually, you have it on there. Sorry about that. Never mind.
Business insurance.
Okay, that's liability.
Rental.
Okay, there you go.
Insurance. Travel.
Dental.
How can I forget that?
Jewelry.
That's liability.
Vision.
That's one still it. That falls on liability, P&C.
Credit.
Huh?
Credit.
There's credit insurance. That's right, banks do credit insurance.
Pet insurance.
Huh?
Pet insurance.
Pet insurance. As your
Workers'
dog,
comp.
as your dog
Commercial.
back.
Commercial.
Commercial insurance. I think someone said business. But yeah, you're right.
Workers' comp insurance.
Yeah, commercial's different.
Burial insurance.
Vision insurance.
Burial.
Cell phone.
Cell phones on the warranty. That's the warranty.
Pizza delivery insurance.
Blood
Okay.
insurance.
Okay, boat insurance, but that's under P&C. All right, so let's stop here. Now watch this, y'all. Pay close attention. Do anybody know, out of all the names that we listed, there's probably more, why the life insurance industry is the only one that wants to send your kid to college? It's the only one that tells you if you buy, we're going to give you some money for retirement. We're going to give you money for an emergency fund. We're going to give you money to start a business through the infinite banking BS that you can borrow against your face amount. We're going to give you money to buy a home one day and whatever else you want us to BS you with. So let me ask you a question, okay? Let's see who's up here. Ryan, Tessa, unmute yourself. Tell me why the life insurance company is the only one out of all the insurances that want to send little Gary to college if I pay my premiums, put money away from my retirement if I pay my premiums. I use it for the emergency fund. If I ever need money, I can call the insurance, the life insurance guy. I can use it to take money out to start a business, buy a home, whatever I want. Why is it that the life insurance part is the only one that wants to do that. Tell me why, Ryan.
That's a good question, G. I'd say one thing is because the insured won't ever find out until they're dead. That's a pretty easy sale to deceive someone, and they pay extremely high commissions. I would start there.
Here's your answer. At some point, a claim will be made. See, you may not ever use your health insurance. We can make money you being healthy. You may never use your disability. You may never use your long-term, but you're paying for it. You may never use your car insurance, your homeowner's insurance, your warranty. You may never crack your phone. You may never use your rental insurance. See, the only one on here where everybody's gonna file a claim is life insurance. So what they do is they go in and say, we're gonna guarantee a claim at some point. We're gonna get that phone call that daddy died. We're gonna do what? Add all these extra BS in here, fillers, to take the premium from 155 to 700. We're raising the rate so that we could take this to pay this versus selling term insurance to pay this. Let's add in all this fake BS. As Ryan said, a dead man can't testify. If he don't read the policy and he puts it under his mattress, and one of those Primericans don't come over and screw up this whole damn deal by snitching on me, I can get away with this crime because the victim is dead before the kids find out. No wonder Primerica's hated, because you're snitching on me. You're telling the client while he's 30 that I ripped him off when you should have called him when he was 98, where he can't fix it. You guys are going behind my back, telling people that infinite banking is a scam, that cash value, whole life, universal variable life, flexible premium, the grower plan from Gerber's. You're going in and telling people to read their policies because it is in the contract. The bold print giveth and the fine print taketh away. But nobody reads the fine print unless a Primerican who wants to save the damn manatees and save the trees. They look at us like we're tree huggers, like we want to save the whole planet. And you're gonna go in and snitch on me and tell my auntie I ripped her off. And it's in writing because I legally have to leave the contract. Folks, if the insurance industry didn't have to give you a copy of the policy, they would get away with murder. If they didn't have to leave the client with evidence of a crime, you would never know that you've been ripped off. Thank God they have to leave the policy, because I can go behind their back and read their contract to you. Read not my contract, read their contract and highlight all the fine print, and you see a bunch of zeros. You go, where's my cash value? I read it, says you have to borrow your money. Your policy is put up as Social Security for a loan. We charge you 8% daily compounded. If you die, your family gets either or, the face amount or the cash value, whichever is higher. And your face amount is never higher than the death benefit. So they're saying if you died and you gave us $90,000 in cash value and your policy is worth 100, we only got to give your family 100. But we're going to keep your 90,000 in your cash value, which means we only gave your family really 10 grand because we took your 90,000 in your cash value infinite banking, and upon death, we confiscate your cash value and we put the difference with it to pay your family 100. So your policy actually was only a 10-year term, a $10,000 term policy. I know I told you don't buy term. I told you don't buy from Primerica, and you believe me. And what you did not know is that we actually put you on a term policy from day one. From day one, we put you on a term policy. We told you don't buy term from those Primerica people. That thing's gonna go up on you. Don't you buy no policy from Primerica people? Why? Because that thing is gonna decrease on you. Oh yeah? Well, tell me this then. If I buy a whole life infinite banking BS from you, And this $1 million policy,
Renew your policy?
that's called death benefit. If my death benefit from your company, State Farm, is 100, and I'm paying you $8,000 a year, $700 a month, and I get over here and let's say my cash value, which it ain't, but let's say it's going to be $150,000 in my cash value. If I die, what happens? Well, we give your wife $1 million check. Okay, but remember I overpaid. Remember this right here was 155 for the insurance. I gave you 700. We know 155 went to pay for the policy. I'm not mad about that. 155 of my 700 paid for the claim. But the other 400 and what is it, or 500? Yeah, 500, I apologize.
545.
The other $545 that I overpaid shouldn't that have went in my account? Well, the first 3 or 4 years, we keep that. It's a long-term investment, another BS lie. So I give you $545 a month, $6,500 a year. And from age 25 to age 50, 25 years later, 6,000 times 10 is 65,000, times 20 is $130,000. So that's about 130, 140, 150,000 with interest. Let me ask you a question. If I die at 50, what do you give my wife? 1 million. Hold on a second. If I got 150 in my cash value, you give my wife $1 million, then you didn't give her $1 million. You took my 150 and you gave her 850. And you told me don't buy term. But from the looks of this is a decreasing term. Why? Because I'm on the hook for 150, you paying 850. Now what if I live to 70 and I gave y'all 400,000? That's in my cash value in the overpayment. But we pay $1 million. Okay, so you pay $1 million. You keep my 400. So that means that 400,000 of it was from my cash value. That means you only paid 600,000. Hey, hold on a second. This is a decreasing policy. My face amount was only worth $1 million. You were only on the hook for $1 million the first year. But the longer I live, you actually are paying less. You're taking less of a risk. I'm taking a higher risk. Look, I'm $400,000 of the $1 million. If I keep living like Miss Mona Lisa's mama, and I didn't give you $860,000, and I'm 98 years old, you're only going to pay $1 million, but you're going to take my cash value of $860,000 and help you pay my family. You're only going to give them $140,000. So you sold me a decreasing term policy when you told me don't buy a term policy, but you sold me a decreasing face amount because you're going to use my cash value to offset the difference. Folks, if you stick with the math, no one will ever beat you in this company. You stick with the math, they will never beat you. But if you start going with philosophies and theories and all this other concepts, infinite banking concepts, and they have all these little sexy things they tell you it is, then you may lose an appointment because you're trying to be savvy and sexy and stick with the math. And you ask the insurance agent if you can, sir, if she died, does her family get both? The savings and the death benefit. He's gonna say no. Or he's gonna BS you and go, well, here it is, Gary, it is. It depends on how you structure it. It depends on how you answer my question, sir. If she died, does her family get the death benefit and the savings? Well, it depends. Sir, you're in court. You're under oath. Let's just say yes or no. Under oath, no. Why did it take you around the corner? Why did you take me around the corner to answer the damn question? It's called a filibuster. You're filled with a bunch of stuff. It's called put a spin on it. It's answer the question or answer the question. So the best thing you can do, Anissa, is get past that guy's BS, and you do just like any other attorney, Anissa. Now, you're not in court, but you can sure be one with the client. You go like this. Let the record show Exhibit A. And you turn to page 9. Now, right here, Mr. Prudential, you see here where she paid $6,000 a year? Under cash value, what does it say, Mr. Prudential? Well, it says 0. Let the record show that Ms. Prudential has agreed that the first year there is no cash value. Turn to page 9. Upon death, the cash value belongs to the insurance company. We will pay either or the greater of the cash value of death benefit. Ms. Prudential, what does that mean? Does that mean they're going to pay both or either or? Well, either or. Let the record show that if she dies, they're going to keep the cash value. Okay, let's go now, page 9. Exhibit C. We have up to 6 months to pay your cash value. You have the right to borrow this money at 8% interest compounded daily. Now, sir, does this mean if she borrows $10 and you're going to charge her 8% daily? If she borrows money on Monday, the 8% compounds on Tuesday, compounds again on Wednesday, compounds again on Thursday. By the time she gets the next week, the interest is eating up the death benefit? Yes. I rest my case. I rest my case. This is not a savings plan, Your Honor. This is highway robbery. This is term insurance being sold as a college fund. And so they can overcharge this client. So when it's time to pay the claim, they've made millions over 35 years. But Primerica over here, which is a person who's a witness, came in.
Anyone that was
so Primerica is basically exposing the industry. No wonder, Your Honor, they're the most hated people on the planet. They're the most hated people in the financial industry because Primerica is witnessing all these crimes and exposing them. And the insurance industry is the only industry, Your Honor, in our country that cannot be regulated by the federal government. Did you guys know that? It's the only industry in this country that the Federal Trade Commission is banned from investigating. They're above the law. I hope this makes sense to you. Now I'm going to go into a different concept on marketing and competition. I'm going to leave you with the best of the best of the best in this meeting today. Vivian is running a consistent cash cow of $25,000 to $30,000 a month in income. She just turned 30 years old. Single, powerful, boss, a girl boss, she calls herself, right? And she's living up to that name. It's not an Instagram tag, a hashtag. She's living up to it. Very disciplined. She's been with our company now 6 or 7 years. She didn't start like gangbusters, but she's very consistent. She will beat you with consistency, and she's relentless at what she does. She's going to talk about how to market your business through social media and how to recruit young adults into the financial industry. And then closing out, you're going to hear from the greatest of all times. The record breaker, the record shatterer, has made $2 million in 4.5 years of being in this company, a legacy generational wealth family. The son and the mom working together. The Bible says, I call the old because they're wise, and I call the young because they're strong. They happen to have those two dynamics. And they're beating the pants off of everybody in the company. She has received the Virginia Carter Award. And next year, she'll be put into the Hall of Fame. In 5 years of being in the company, she'll be put into Primerica's Hall of Fame. It will be a record. So Vivian, I want to turn it over to you. And after you're done, Vivian, in 30 minutes, I want you to turn it over to April and Monte Bonner. I'm giving you 20 minutes, and I want to give them the other 25 minutes. I appreciate you guys. I hope you got a lot of knowledge out today. Okay, let's go to war with the insurance industry. Spend the next 6 or 7 days replacing these bad policies that don't have no insurance. Let them understand they're buying money until they get their own. God bless you. I'll see you at the top. The bottom is way too crowded. Bye-bye. Vivian, you're now the host.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate you. Good morning, everybody. Hope you guys are fired up just hearing, that training today. I know you guys were expecting maybe something a little bit different, but that's awesome right there. If you want to learn exactly what Gary just explained and you're wondering, man, how come I don't know this, or how did he get good? Go book some appointments. That's how you actually learn everything that we do, not by just going to class. So just that training itself is awesome. You want to get educated because you will come across some agents and some clients that are going to ask you questions, and you're going to want to know how to respond. So thank you, Coach. I appreciate that. Gary wanted me to talk to you guys about social media. Everyone likes to say that I'm the social media girl, but you'd be surprised how many people in the business are doing freaking great numbers utilizing their social media. Now, social media can be pretty much any platform that you use. Some people are more using Facebook. I honestly don't really use Facebook as much. So if that's your form of platform, use that. I'm on Instagram. I do use other stuff, but Instagram is really where I get a lot of my business. I would say like 99% of it. Every now and then I'll get someone that comes from TikTok that goes to my Instagram, and then that's how I get them. But social media is so powerful. And there's two ways that, you can really use your social media. People that don't have a lot of followers, you can grow your social media, or you can just really target and know how to network through there. And then you can also learn how to brand yourself, which is something that I was able to do in the business. And I love doing it. Didn't take a class on it. Didn't take notes on anything. It's just something that I really enjoy doing. And social media has to be something that you want to get good at, that you want to enjoy doing. The reason why I started using social media from day one, okay, I used my social media coming into the business. I've been in the business for a little over about 7-8 years now. And when I first started in the business, I followed a system just like all of you guys should be following the system, which at first you do what? You go through your warm, natural market, you book appointments, get field trained, and then as you get more involved in the business, then you utilize your social media. And that's what I did. After I ran through my warm market and found out, okay, my friends are not really wanting to do the business, let me jump onto this platform called Instagram. When I got involved in 2014, I noticed that everybody was using Facebook, and that just wasn't my thing. So I felt like no one's really using Instagram. And I think back then that's when DMs started coming out, and you could like send someone a picture, and then all of a sudden it was like a message. And let me tell you, my messages back then were not messages that you want to send. The only reason why it worked back then was because no one was sending out messages like that. If you're sending out a huge paragraph to somebody, saying, hey, this is actually the message that I used to send. Hey, I know you don't know me, but my office is hiring. I'm looking for people to work with who want to make an extra $2,000 to $5,000 a month. You don't need experience, and you could do this on a part-time basis. It's an entry-level position, and it was so boring. I don't even know how that even worked. But today, don't ever try that. Okay. So when it comes down to your social media, whatever it is, the one that you want to use, number one thing is you want to make sure your page is public. Sometimes I come across people and they're like, hey, Viv, can I show you my Instagram? Let me know if this works. And the first thing I ask, I said, is your page public? They'll say, no, I have family on there. And I tell them this. How are you going to identify yourself as a business owner and your business is private? How is anybody ever going to find you? That doesn't make sense. So number one, if your page is private, make it public. Okay. The next thing that I learned when getting involved in a business like Primerica, and again, I was in another company as well. One of the first things that I knew that I had to do if I was going to prospect people on social media, I had to clean it up. So this right here is for my new people. Like you're 1 month in, you're 1 week in, you're 1 day in, and you're like, how can I use my social media? Well, you're going to have to clean up your page. The old Vivian, before coming into Primerica, and I was a huge party girl. So I worked and lived for the weekends. That's all. So all you saw was fitness. And then on the weekends, I was either out partying, getting drunk, or at a rave. Okay. That's just me being honest with you. Okay. And so the way that I took this is if I'm going to recruit people into my business and I want people to take me serious, what are they going to look at when they see my page? Because people do judge. I might say, oh, you're fine. But do people judge? People do judge. And so what I had to do was, okay, let me go clean up the pictures that I don't want to be seen. I don't want people to be like, damn, this girl's wild. So I took off those pictures, deleted them. And then another thing is I left enough posts on my page that showed there was an old Vivian. Okay. Some people just want to start a new page. And by the way, I didn't start this new page that I have until 2019. So I was already in the business maybe 4 years before I actually decided to get on a new page, and I had my reasons why. But most people will say, well, Vivian, I have my family, my friends on this page. Why don't I start a new page? And I think that that is ridiculous to have 2 separate Instagrams or 2 separate social medias. What are you trying to hide? Don't try to be 2 different people. All you have to do is clean it up and then leave enough in there that people can go back and see the old you. Because guess what? This business is all about changing. This business is all about transforming. So I left pictures from when I worked at 24 Fitness, pictures with friends, pictures with family. I wanted people to know that I'm a complete normal person, but I'm transitioning into this business woman. Then I started changing my posts. It went from I'm always posting, chatting on Instagram, posting whatever, to now I wanted people to see that I was going after something. So I advise, if you're trying to market yourself on Instagram, show where you worked at, show your friends, show your family, show all of that. And then show your transition into getting into business. So I went on my old page and I was like, man, what did I used to post on my Instagram? I honestly didn't care what people thought. I was never embarrassed, but just so you can kind of see, just let me see if I can share this. Coach, you disabled me. Arlene, can you make me host so I can share this really quick? If possible. Thank you. So let me see. Connect. I can't share it. All right, cool. So this is from my old page. And for those of you guys who have heard me say my story before, I remember getting involved in the business and I was just so excited. I went from dressing up to wearing, crop tops, ripped jeans, to now whatever I had in my closet, a little blazer, some jeans, because I wanted to get better. I wanted to be taken serious. And I remember being in the office, and it wasn't my office, right? Some of you guys need to utilize your RVP's office, but I never had an office. I never even owned a computer. I was really just sitting there visualizing myself being the CEO of my own company. So this is G2's office. This is G2's laptop, and it had his little name too, his name tag, and I actually put it down because I wanted to act like this is my office in one day. And then this is just a little caption, obviously finally home from the office, because I used to stay, I would go to that office and I would just stay there because I wanted to be in that environment. And then I just posted that, right? And then let me see. And then after that, actually, this was the starting group of the dynasty. This is who actually started with G2. We were just young kids, 22, 23. And I think Larry was the oldest one there, right? And just putting that, these guys are amazing, such a blessing to work with. I'm proud of everyone. And then guess what? Then I posted, my first promotion to district leader. That's what you should do. If you ever want to post something on your social media, post your milestones. If you're going to want people to go back to your page, you want them to see, okay, what are you getting involved in? What is this? And so I posted that. I posted my mentor. I posted when I was at the meetings. I posted so people can see, man, she's totally different. This is me doing a whole orientation with one of my recruits and at the office. So I was just really, really excited about posting my business. Some people are embarrassed to post about their business. Some people are ashamed. I don't know why you'd be ashamed, but I just didn't care. I was like, okay, this is who I am. This is what I want to be. And so I posted. And then, over time, it won't be about you. You'll see that you're posting about your team. You're posting about the company events. But until then, you've got to be consistently posted. So public page, clean it up, and post your new milestones. Post when you get your license, post when you get your promotion, post when you're at a fast start. Something very simple so that people can be curious to see, where does this girl, didn't she used to work at the gym? Wasn't this girl at a rave every weekend? Now she's posting. People get curious, the old you. And then, and posting consistently. That's what helped me, is that I was always posting consistently. And then the stories started to come out, right? Stories haven't always been there. So finally stories came out, after this whole Snapchat thing. And stories was a way for you to show what are you doing in your day-to-day basis. Your page is supposed to be like a magazine or a billboard ad. What attracts someone? Okay, what is someone at their office job that they're hating, when they go to your page, what is going to make them say, damn, what does she do? Or what does he do? And then your story is going to be explaining, she's obviously in some type of business, or she's always out and about, or oh my gosh, she looks like she has a lot of freedom. Whatever it is, be consistently posting on your stories. What you guys, not you guys, but many people make this mistake. And if you're brand new, you're thinking to yourself, what can I post to get people to message me? Don't be that person. Until you have your brand, until you have that reputation, then okay, start posting those pictures. But what I noticed today with social media, so many people post the same post about Primerica, now hiring, recruiting, and you're thinking as a brand new person that you're going to get a bunch of messages. You might, but I'm telling you right now, it's better to clean up your page, post that you're out at the office, posting when you're hitting your milestones, and direct message your followers. A message can go a long way. So, and then if you want your growing or your following to grow, is you got to follow new people. Following new people is not hard. If they don't follow you back after a week, unfollow them. It's not that hard. Start following people. I got Diana into the business by me following her. I didn't know her. She didn't know me. I followed her. I liked her. She was into makeup. And so I followed her. And then I was like, I like how this girl is. She's very creative. And then I just hit her with a message, same message that I just told you guys not to do. Hey, you don't know me, but my office is looking to, to hire new people. And she instantly was, is this a scam? She instantly said, is this a scam? And I told her, like, no, it's not, like, we can meet in person. And then she totally ignored me. But here's what's awesome about, not worried about the yeses or the nos, is that you're going to get the no's. You're going to get people to leave you on red. It's the fact that you're going to continue to do the same thing over and over and over again. After a year later, after she denied me and said no, I didn't stop following her. I don't know. I didn't care. I kept it pushing. But because people are going to be watching you, the same people that told you no, the same people that left you on red, the same people, they're going to be watching your page to see, is she still doing that thing? Is he still doing that thing? A year later, you guys, because she watched my Instagram when I won the company trips, when I got recognition, right? She messaged me back and said, hey, are you still, in that company? You messaged me a year ago and I had my doubts, but now that I see, and I'm very curious, brought her to the office and then recruited her. Now you have that. Now you have her. Andres, I actually met Andres through social media, and it's funny because he actually became my friend because I was trying to get him as a client for 24-Hour Fitness. So that's how we related. And then we kept that friendship going. And then when I got involved in another network marketing, he was on my list. Let me contact him. Hey, this is what I'm doing. We recruited him to that other company. And then he was on my list to bring him into Primerica. Andres turned me down. Okay. Some of you guys will give up on people after they turn you down, or you're going to say, oh, you know what? This doesn't work out for me. A year later, Andres, after following up with him and keeping him in the loop, hey, I'm getting promoted. Come support me as a friend. He finally came to a fast start. And him seeing the bigger picture, he joined. And now you have Andres and Joanna. So follow-up is definitely key. Don't worry about the no's. Engaging. Some of you guys will just post the picture. You'll post on your story, hey, who's looking for a new job? Who's looking for a new business opportunity? And you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting, not realizing if you want to brand yourself and you want to talk to more people, engage. It costs you nothing to engage with people that you follow and that are following you. Respond to comments, like their pictures, comment on their pictures, respond to their stories. It makes it less awkward when you send a message. So and I see this all the time, when people message me and they're not following, that's the first red flag. Why are you messaging me and you don't even follow me? I'm not even going to read your message. So if you're sending a message, you don't follow that person, that's sign number one. You're not going to get a reply back. Number two, if you just followed me and you're not interacting, you haven't liked any of my pictures, and then you send me a message with hey, I'm also going to ignore you. So some of you guys are sending back to back messages, just doing like spamming. Take time to follow someone, look at their pictures, look and say, man, that's a family person. Man, I like the way that she carries herself. I'm going to respond to her story. Just interact. It costs nothing, so that when you send that message, they're not like, who are you? Okay. So try doing that as well. Show your personality. I used to hate doing videos. I used to hate talking on there, but let's be honest. If you just see a bunch of pictures, they're just going to think you're this stuck-up person. That's what people thought of me. Oh, you're actually really nice. You're actually really funny. People thought I was just stuck up. So I started posting more videos. Instead of actually posting a graphic that said life insurance, or this is what we do, or now recruiting, instead, I would get on the camera and just start showing my personality and start talking to people. That made people want to be more open to responding to, okay, I've been curious to what you do. Okay. When it comes down to messaging, for me, just be direct. Just be very direct. Some people are going to ask a question like, hey girl, what's up, bro? Quick question. And again, everyone is doing that. Quick question. What do you do for work? And it works in a large amount of numbers, but then you also got to be okay that some people are going to be like, why do you want to know? I don't know you. Why do you want to know what I do for work? So just be direct. It's very simple. If I'm following a girl, I only message girls. If I'm following a girl, or if it's a couple, I'm obviously talking to the wife or the spouse, right? If I'm talking to a girl, of course, I'm going to say, hey, girl, I know we're following each other. And I know we don't know each other, but do you live in the California area? That's a very simple, hey, we follow each other. Do you live in the California area? Actually, no, I live in Texas. Oh, okay, got it. Quick question. I know they're super random and you don't know me, but by any chance, do you happen to keep your options open to making an extra source of income if you could do it from home? I don't know. Say whatever it is that you want to say. You can't say the wrong thing. Be direct. Here's another thing too. When you're sending out messages and they say, sure, no problem, I'm always open. Doing what? Some of you guys are going to try to beat around the bush. I hate that. Honestly, I hate when people beat around the bush. Well, I work in the financial industry. I'm a financial advisor. I'm going to teach you how to do entry level, all that stuff. I hate that. And I can't believe I ever used to say that. I'm very direct. I do Primerica. Are you familiar with the company? It's very plain and simple, because once you get them on the Zoom, they're going to say, why didn't you just say it was Primerica? When people do that to me, when my recruits do that to me, and I go, hey, okay, cool. How did you set it up? Oh, I just, put a post up on my Facebook that, entry level position, working from home. And now I got to do the extra work and be like, are you familiar with Primerica? So to me, I'm very straightforward. I do Primerica. Are you familiar with the company? Okay. Or anybody messages me, they say, hey girl, I'm interested in what you do. I go, that's great. And I respond, are you familiar with Primerica? That is always my response. Are you familiar with Primerica? They either say, yes, I am, or no, I'm not. I already have a on my saved messages, or there's an option on your DMs where you can save messages. I already have one that says, literally word for word, no worries. Well, I'm a regional vice president with Primerica. We teach people about life insurance and saving money. At the same time, we show people how they can create their own business within the company. Have you ever thought about having your own business? Or I always say, what do you do for work? I always ask a question. I leave the message asking a question. What do you do for work? Or have you ever thought about having your own business? And then they'll respond, I'm a nurse. I do this on the side. I do lashes on the side. Oh, okay, great. And then I just get them on a Zoom as soon as possible, get them on the Zoom, and then you do the appointment. You just got to continue to post, make sure that you're always doing that. Understand that it is a numbers game. So continue to do it over and over and over again. Eventually your responses are going to get better, and you're going to notice that you're not having to send 50 messages. Okay. If you're wondering right now why you have to send out 100 messages to get one, you got to start getting better at your approach. You got to start learning how to network with people. I just like talking to people through social media, and I really pay attention to their page. I pay attention to something that stands out, whether it's their clothes, if it's their kids, if it's them in fitness. I find something that I can identify, that I can relate to. Man, that gym you're going to looks so nice. What area is that in? So I'm always trying to find a way that I can interact. And then guess what? Usually a girl's going to be like, man, well, what gym do you go to? Right. And then girls just know how to do that. With guys, it's a little bit different. But I just do that with girls, and showing that. Another thing that I have noticed is that when I'm posting out and about, just very simple, I'm out at dinner, I'm with my team, I'm at an event, out, people are more open. If all your page is, or all your story is just a bunch of posts, again, that's not making anyone attracted to that. So that's how that is going to go. Social media, this is just something that is very awesome and very important to do. And all the young people are on social media. So you find someone that is younger, I'm obviously 30, but my average age in my team is about 26 years old. So find someone in your group that you can honestly push, like what April does with Monte, right? She pretty much use Monte, and Monte's like the flashy guy, the young guy driving the nice car. That's what you do. That's how you attract the young people. I was attracted into the business because I saw how G2, the lifestyle, young, nice cars, the Bentley. I was like, dang, I want that. Try showing that to a 30-something-year-old. They're like, that's cute. The young people, they love that stuff. So that's what my advice for that. So I don't want to take up it's already 20 minutes. I want to give them their time, but I'll give Jeremiah and Sarah those 2 questions you can ask me, and then I'm going to turn it to Monte. Okay, so Jeremiah, you first.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm on Adrian's thing. But my question is, because you talked about when you follow somebody, if they don't follow you back within a week, you can unfollow them. But where do you see that at? Where do you see if they followed you back or not?
Okay, it's very simple. You can track it. If you're following a bunch of people, you can go to your followers and just type the same person's name. If they're not on there, they're not following you. So go to your following and then just do that. Also, you could go to their page directly, and then on the corner, if you go to someone's page, it'll say like, if it says remove follower, that means they're your follower. If it doesn't, then you could just unfollow really quick. So there's actually apps too. I just believe it takes too long and sometimes it can mess up your page, but there's an unfollower app that will show you exactly who's not following you. You probably have to pay some money for that. Yes, cool.
That's too bad. All right, for sure.
Cool. Sarah?
Hi, yes. I was just wondering, do you utilize the Primerica social, like how it has the different pre-approved posts that you can place on there that has all the different ones? It has like ones for the opportunity, it has ones for the life insurance, there's ones for home and auto, all kinds of different ones on there. Do you utilize those at all and post those ever as well, or no?
I'm just gonna be 100% honest with you. I've never checked it.
Okay.
So no, yes, sorry. I've never had, because before Primerica, before 2020, Primerica never had a social media thing. And I was constantly getting in trouble for it. So I had just been making my own graphics. Well, I use like publications that they have, like the Forbes 2022 best employers, that I will like literally take the actual post and then I'll just add it into something that I'm already doing. Again, don't take my advice when it comes down to posting certain Primerica content because you want to stay compliant. So yes, check it out, see what you can post. I don't want to get in trouble for anything like that. Just stay compliant. There's ways that you can expose the business as far as like yourself, you getting promoted. You don't have to say when someone, gets their ring or, they click over their second diamond, you don't have to say new $200,000 earner, just say second diamond. I'm so excited for this person, their next milestone. You don't have to say actual money, things like that, so that you don't get in trouble. There's ways to, post great content without trying to say too much. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you guys. I didn't want to take too much time because really the great leaders here that you're going to learn about having 100K consistent base shop. I want to say they've been consistently running for like 2 years now. That's who you want to really learn from. So I'm going to pass it over to the next $1 million earner, April and Monte Bonner.
Thank you, Vivian. Let's please give it up for Vivian Diaz. Hey, if you know me and you know us, I'll let her talk the whole time. but Gary wanted me to talk about something I believe I might not. Well, I'm gonna be honest. I might be the best to be able to talk about it coming from the environment of sports. So he wanted me to talk about competing in competition because I believe a lot of people come in here, Adrian, and they don't really understand competing versus competition. A lot of us come in from the environment, and I'm gonna definitely just talk about my organization and me being who I am. I came in with the attitude of, I'm an athlete, Shane. Hey, if you talk shit to me, you talk mess to me, I could hit you on the field, get a late penalty, get a flag. I don't care. Coach is gonna yell at me. I run gashers at the end of next week. I don't care. But coming into this environment, my first time, y'all always hear this story. I got challenged by the chosen ones, and I'm going to be forever grateful for that organization because they know how to push the right buttons at the right time. And coming into the environment that we were in, I always wanted to be the biggest dog, as we always like to say. But I had something, Shane, I believe that a lot of people didn't have coming in, which was, I believe, like a strong desire to win. A lot of people don't have a desire to really win. A lot of people don't have a desire to go the extra mile. A lot of people, like Mike Tyson say, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face, right? Everybody comes to Primerica with a plan. Oh, when I get into Primerica, when I get my license, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Well, I'm fighting for my family. Well, just because you fight for your family don't mean you competing with nobody. You have to find that common enemy in business while we in a foxhole. You got to find somebody in practice that you don't like at today and tomorrow. But when we get there on Friday nights, Saturday mornings, Sunday afternoon, you know that when it's time for us to go to war, we're going to fight with each other. But when we go back to the locker room and you say something I don't like, we might fight as well. But guess what? Only I could beat you up or I could hit you late after practice. I'm not going to let the opponent do that. So a lot of people don't play to win. A lot of people always used to tell me coming in, from our environment of growing up in the ghettos, and that's a lot of people that's from the ghettos. We come in saying, "Oh, you talking mess to me? Oh, I want to fight. Oh, you know what? I don't compete like that. You talking about my mama. You talking about this. You talking about that. That's not how I rock." Seeing a lot of people, instead of you trying to compete, you use that as an excuse because you're afraid to compete. Because why? You know, competition, your competitors will bring out the best in you, or you're gonna run in and hide in the shell. So I came in, I was like, well, my first day coming in, Shane, I didn't have a license, but all I knew was the people that were winning, the people that were leading the dynasty at the time, was the Vivians and the Sergios, and everybody will always talk about competing. And I was like, man, everybody talk about competing. Why y'all don't compete? Mind you, I have no license, but I'm talking about the RVPs. Like, y'all want us to compete so bad, but y'all not competing. That was just my attitude. I didn't know that I was doing anything wrong, Shane. I just didn't care about no title. I felt like I had to respect your title. You had to go out there and do it. Just like being a starting receiver, a starting running back. I don't care if you had 1,000 yards last year. It's my time to shine. I'm going to have 1,500, and we're going to compete until whoever can get that top spot. See, I came into Primerica from the same way that I was in football. You had to compete. It didn't matter if you shine this game and you expected that you were gonna have that starting position because you bought out last year and took us to a championship. That doesn't matter. Next man up. If you ain't doing your job, guess what? We're gonna recruit somebody else. Or guess what? I'm gonna put this person in position, even though I know that you're better than this individual when it comes to skill. I'm gonna put them in because you ain't working hard. See, I come from that environment. Kill or be killed. You get injured, guess what? We ain't gonna wait for you. Next man up, it's your time to shine. So I understood coming into Primerica, Gary recruited me, and my mindset was next man up. Yeah, you got somebody now, but guess what? When I get in, it's gonna be next. Watch this when I get in, coach. So I had somebody my first time push that envelope on me. They said, "Oh, you guys are premium whores." Excuse my friends, but this is what I heard. You guys is chasing cash. You gonna finish last. You guys ain't making no money. You ain't building nothing. It's a house of cards. I heard all these things. See, but Gary told me one thing, and I had to learn. He said, "Hey, your competitors will tell you where you're weak at. If you play basketball and you only can shoot with a left hand, right hand layup, and you try to go with the left, and guess what? I'm gonna always try to force you to go left because I know that your chance of missing it is a lot higher than going with your right." So I understood in business. I said, "Well, mama, you know what they telling us? They saying we're not building nothing. We're not recruiting nobody." And that was never the case, Shane. I just didn't have nobody that stood. I couldn't have nobody that stayed. We recruit 9-11, quit. See, but my mindset was, hey, guess what? You got to go through it in order to get to it. See, we had to go through the people quitting on us. We had to go through the people talking mess about our base shop. We had to go through all the things that helped us and create us to be the leaders we are today. See, but I had to transform my mother because she knew how to compete, but she didn't know how to compete healthy. I knew how to compete, but I'm gonna be honest, Shane, I didn't know how to compete that healthy. I don't know. To me, in my mind, I'll be real. There's no such thing as a happy competition. There's no such thing as that. Oh, you guys got to compete and be free. There's no such thing as that. When we on that field, man, I didn't have people ask to talk about my mama, talk about my dead grandpa. I didn't have people say all type of stuff. And guess what? I get back on the field, we talking mess. Or when I catch you after the game, it's gonna be on. After the game, we ain't gonna never even fight. But guess what? During that whole game, we getting penalties, late hits. I'm doing everything possible so I can win. So I understood that you can't tell nobody how to compete with you. You can't tell them, oh, you can't say that to me. That's not nice. You can't have feelings when competing. But you also got to understand that this individual you competing with is just trying to drive you to become the best version of you. And then once I understood that, Shane, I said, you know what? Okay, coach. Gabriel and Tiffany told me this, and this. And I told them, let's go outside and fight. Because guess what? My mental was, I'm an athlete. I want to hit you. I want to knock your helmet. I want to give you a concussion. I want to do something to where we walk out that game and I'm like, yeah, you know, every week, you know, you a junior, I'm a senior, or I'm a freshman, you a sophomore. You know, for the next 4 years, when you line up against me, you know what it's going to be. So I had to take that same attitude, that same energy, because I knew if I didn't create Primerica to be my space, meaning that I'm going to dominate in this space. As long as you put me in the game and you show me the play, I'm going to read the playbook and I'm going to go score. Gary, you don't got to hold my hand. Coach, you ain't got to show me how to compete. Show me how to not take so much anger out and want to fight. Because now I had to learn that everything is not physical in Primerica. 90% is mental, 10% is physical. So a lot of people have never used this right here, this muscle in here. You never have to use that. We react quick off of physical emotion. Oh, I want to beat him up. Oh, I don't like what he said about me. Oh, he said my base shop is at 0 by 0. See, when we join Primerica, see, they don't know how it feels, Shane, to walk to a house and you drive 2 hours away and you competed and it's the last day of the month and the client act like they ain't home and you see 7 cars outside and the lights is on. So y'all don't know how I feel to be around that. See, a lot of y'all on Zoom, somebody don't log on Zoom, you gonna quit. Oh, coach, they didn't get on, have 10 appointments and 9 people cancel. Have 10 appointments, driving to 10 different cities hours away and all of them cancel. See, a lot of y'all wouldn't be willing to go through that. But guess what? We still competing. It's 12 o'clock at night and Art beating us by 5,000. And guess what? All of our 7 appointments just fell out. Guess what we gonna do? We used to sit in the car saying all day long, you know what, mama, it's 10 o'clock at night. Ain't nobody on the Telegram or the group me when we join. You know what we gonna do? We finna stir some shit up. Let's talk shit to Sergio and them. Let's talk shit to Vivian and them. Let's talk shit to Art and them. Let's say something to get this energy going because I know he gonna say something that I don't like. And guess what? It's gonna make me go to work. See, a lot of y'all don't look at competition like that. Coach, you know, I'm so mature now. I ain't competing. You know, I don't want to get in that space. No, you immature. Just because you grown, just because you grown in age, don't mean you grown in certain areas in your life. So I have to understand that it's competing childish. Very. Competition is childish. It's very childish. But guess what? You need to be a little bit more of a child. That's why your business is where it is. You're just so cool. I don't gotta compete. I'm doing it for my family. Well, why are you still losing? I'm doing it for my kids. Well, why your kids still worrying about when the next meal is gonna come? Or, you know, I'm doing this for my father because my father is going through the situation. Well, guess what? When I was doing it, I helped my father get from 20 years to 5 years because why I had to compete. I competed with what? The system. So guess what? I'm gonna get the result as long as I put in the work. See, but most of us have to get out that comfort zone. I'm telling you, you have to get out that comfort zone. You cannot be afraid to lose. You cannot be afraid to say, I'm gonna do 100,000 this month, but then you only hit 90. That don't mean you lose faith. Faith without works is dead. That don't mean you lose faith just because you don't hit that number. Yeah, I said I was supposed to be at $1 million by August of this year. We in August. You think I'm losing faith? Not at all. I just gotta go find somebody on this Zoom that's gonna piss me off enough to help me go back to work. Because why? I get comfortable too. It's easy to get comfortable at 24 years old, Shane, making 60,000 a month. It's very easy to get comfortable. Some of y'all get comfortable at 2 cents. Y'all make 2 cents in Primerica and get charged back for 4 cents, and we'll never see you again. Oh, coach, you know, I'm going through chargebacks. You know, well, go compete with somebody. They're gonna get you out of chargebacks. See, but you gotta be forceful. You gotta be, I'm talking about forceful to the sense of make everybody mad. You should be pissing everybody off in your base shop right now. You should be pissing everybody off in your base shop right now. And shit, you should be telling people, hey, you ain't gonna, well, you under Andre, you ain't gonna do shit. You ain't gonna do nothing this month. Guess what? You think Vivian needs you? She don't need you at all. See, for the ones that was in the base shop when we in RVP, guess what I used to say? Gary, you got Gail, you got Vivian, you got all these great people. Guess what? You don't need none of them. You just need April Monte. And I know I used to piss them off all the time. Well, guess what? That was my attitude. Gary, you don't need nobody. You just need me. Now, did I think that Gary needed some other people? Yeah, of course. But I ain't gonna let you know that because Gary got me. As long as you got me, you don't need nobody else. Because why? I'm gonna be willing to go through everything possible to help you get to where you need to get to. Because I was always told, they said, Ray, if you fight for something bigger than yourself, then by default, you will become big yourself. So I went to go challenge the Art Martinez's. The reason why I am where I am today is because I had somebody like Art that was gonna keep poking the bear. See, I came in when I was the regional leader, I'm like, Art, we're gonna beat your base shop this month. Mind you, this dude ran a 100K base shop. I wasn't even at 100K yet. I said, Art, we're gonna beat your base shop. For 4 months, the record was Vivian's record, 93,000, if I'm not mistaken. But Art kept talking like he had the record. Well, you ever gonna do 100? I'm like, ever gonna do 100? Art, you never did 100, that's the reason. Well, guess what? My mental was, I gotta do 100 because if I do 90 or 91 and Art did 90, that ain't gonna even matter to Art. He's gonna say, well, I did 90 first, you only did 91. So I had to find somebody that was gonna compete with me. Oh, you ain't an RVP yet, you're a little boy, stop talking. Let me talk to your mama. I was like, oh, I like him. He's disrespectful. I like him. Okay, cool. Because that's how I was on the football field. I don't care what status you are. So guess what? I leveled up my competition because guess what? We was beating all the regional leaders. If you combine the numbers, we were still beating all the regional leaders that we was competing with at the time. So guess what? I said, Mama, let's go after Art. What Art is going to say, the crazy stuff I need him to say so I can get to where I need to get to because these other people are afraid to say it to me. Art is willing to say, hey, well, look, all your numbers roll back. Art is willing to say that. So guess what I know? I can't stand his ass. But guess what? I'm going to go to work. Because I know what? While we on offense and defense during practice, His job is to piss me off. His job is to hit me. His job is to have that late hit so I can be prepared for the game. So I can be prepared when we go against the Barragons, prepared when we go against the Arizonas, all these big hierarchies, the Chamorros. I gotta be prepared. So guess what? Why would I not box or spar with one of the best leaders in the organization? So guess what? We took 4 months, Ashton, to go RVP. But we was ready to go RVP the day that we found out we could have won RVP. But I said, Mama, we did 61,000 this month. We did 63,000 the next month. Okay, cool. Gary said, y'all need to go RVP like tomorrow. I said, no, Gary, we got to break that record. A lot of y'all wouldn't be willing to say that. Oh, I'm ready to go RVP 4 months. Oh, Gary, let's push it today. No, Mom, we're going to break the record. We're going to make it obvious. We're going to make it obvious that we're going to hold that record in the office. So guess what? We did 101,000 competing with Art's Base Shop. Art ain't going to never tell you. But when we did one-on-one, he ain't on here, so it's my show right now. When we did one-on-one, Art did 93,000. We was a regional leader. And guess what? I'm like, yeah, Mama, we got him. Even though we wasn't RVP, guess what he said to me? You ain't RVP yet, so it don't matter if you beat me. I'm like, oh, shit. See, okay, I got to go RVP. Because I found that common enemy that was going to continue to drive me. Some of y'all are dead in the water because why? You just not competing. See, when the first time I felt pressure, I became addicted to it because I know what pressure does for me. See, a lot of y'all pressure bust your pipes. See, for me, pressure continue to create a diamond. See, I'm that diamond in the rough. So I got to continue to put more pressure so I can be the next diamond. See, but everybody, Shane, want to be a diamond, but don't nobody want to take them cuts. You don't want to take that your team quit on you. You don't want to take, oh, I lost my best recruit. Oh, you know, when everything is favorable in your life, you are a beast. When everything going your way, you a beast. See, when somebody call you out on your stuff, or somebody quit on you, or that chargeback comes, or somebody beats you on stage and they talk mess to you, guess what? When it's not favorable, you don't compete, you fold up. Oh, you know, I ain't here to compete. I'm just here to make money for my family. Well, you competing with life. Life versus death is competition. I got to continue to stay alive so I get the results I want. You competing with death. You don't want to die, so guess what? You constantly staying alive. See, but a lot of us are not living. We just surviving. Because why? You ain't competing. See, we always say compete, but don't compare. That's the truest statement ever. You don't want to compare yourself to the next man because you don't know what the next man is doing. But if you win, Shane, it's something that I want from you. I'm going to poke the bear. I'm going to say something that's going to get on your nerves. I know you're going to say it back to me. Well, you ain't doing shit. You only been here 5 years. Well, I've been here. I made $4 million in 3. You got to find somebody that's going to do that to you. And the only way this hierarchy is going to get to where we need to get to and finish at $1 million is if we compete. Even the A1s, if you compete, guess what? You will get a result. But if you sit here waiting for life to happen to you and being a dream chaser, not a dream catcher, you ain't going to never get it. You have to be able to compete. I'm telling you, y'all, this is what helped me. Gary did one thing and I learned. I used to hate it though, Ashton. We used to go to when Op Night, when Primerica was real. You know, this is all the Zoom virtual. But we used to have a certain thing called Op Night where you pull up to the office, you know, you open the door, you have the red carpet, those kind of things. Most of y'all don't never know about that. Now, on Zoom. I said, you know what? Mama, we beating everybody right now. And the best thing that could have happened to me, honestly, as a leader, is when the Kornegays bought a house in Atlanta. And they had made a transition to leave for a couple months, back and forth. And we had to constantly compete for production, for recruits, whoever got the most people there at 7:15. See, I was willing to compete even when I was losing. Because Gary told me, he told us one thing. He said, look, Monte, y'all speaking a lot. Y'all closing out every op night. But guess what? Y'all don't got the most people here. So you can't influence the table you ain't sitting at. You talking to all the Sergio people. You talking to all the Vivian people. You talking to all the Adrian people. But where's your people at the crowd? So I was like, damn, I ain't thinking about it. Yeah, I look good on stage. Yeah, I look good when I'm speaking and I'm going social media. Like, damn, he got a whole room packed out. But when I sit down there, Ashton, in the back of my mind, I'm like, damn, ain't none of my people here. Yeah, I ain't influencing nobody that I know here. Ain't nobody here that I know besides the people that's already
exactly.
Ain't nobody getting that influence from me. So
Exactly.
I had to tell myself, all right, cool. Gary threw a competition and he said one thing.
Yeah.
He said that, Monte, I need you to get the most people here. So it took me 5 months, Shane, to even speak. It took me 5 months to even get on stage and speak. Because why? I didn't have the most people here at 7:15. And I'm sitting there on stage dying inside because I'm like, I'm beating Sergio right now. I'm beating Vivian right now. I'm beating Ace. Why the hell they speaking and I'm not speaking? Oh, Gary, see you playing them games, G. You ain't trying, you don't want to hear it. You hating on me, G. But then I say, you know what, let me take my feelings out of it. Okay, cool. So am I going to react or am I going to respond? All right, cool. You know what? Guess what? I'm going to start having 40, 50 people here before 7:15. And that's exactly what we started doing. Start speaking every week. Now I started realizing that the whole office that I'm really influencing, the mostly the new people, is my people. So guess what? I became a person that learned how to pack out a meeting because I had to be driven to be competitive. I had to get out of my comfort zone. See, I thought I already had it going on, and then Gary said, you know what, let me check you from the neck up. You think you're doing something, but you ain't doing nothing. So remember, if you don't compete, you will never see that real dog that you have in you. See, a lot of y'all right now, a lot of y'all is playing, playing house. You acting like you want to be a leader. You acting like you want to be $100 earner. You acting like you want to be a $600 earner, but you're not willing to put in the work to get to that position. You're not willing to get uncomfortable. You're not willing to ruffle a few feathers. You know how many people I didn't ran off, Shane? We recruited 600 people last year. You know how many people I ran off? I got 95 agents. So some of y'all are like, oh, April Monte is so good. No, I didn't run off so many damn people. But guess what I understand? I understand that these people, that was a learning thing. I wish I could get them back. I probably could call them, they probably ain't gonna answer again. Because why? I was so driven. I wanted to see you win so bad that most people didn't want to see themselves win as bad as I wanted to see them win. So I was pushing people away. But then I had to learn. See, I took it to, I was so driven in competition that saying that Gary said, if you can't change your people, then change your people. I literally took it to heart, like, oh, I'm bye, delete. Let me change my people. See, but I didn't understand what he was really saying. If you can't change your people, then change your people. Because guess what? We all disenfranchised people. We come in here, had it all, lost it all, know what it feels like to get it back, or some people ain't never had it and would love to experience that blessing that you received. So I told myself, well, let me just go try to fix these people because Gary fixed me. See, there's one thing that I learned about Primerica. I came in as me, flashy, flamboyant. That's always going to be me. I ain't cocky. I don't feel like I'm superior to nobody, but I'm very confident in myself. See, I'm probably the most misunderstood person. Oh, he's so cocky. No, I'm very confident in me. Because why? God didn't create a soul without giving it a gift. So you just don't know your gift. You think that you junk. I don't think I'm junk. I don't think I'm whack. I believe, yeah, I might be in Primerica. Yeah, we some wackos. Yeah, I'm sorry, Ashton. We are. People think we crazy as hell. Oh, you still doing, up at 7 o'clock? You up at 7 o'clock on a meeting? You waiting until 6 o'clock? It's 6:50. You jump on the meeting all the way to 11? Yeah, because guess what? I want to win. Because if you do today what others won't, you will literally have tomorrow what others don't. Y'all hear the saying all the time, but who really living it? Who really living it? Do you have tomorrow what others don't, or you had the same thing because you're not willing to work? So go find that person. I wish Zoom, you could kick people off if they was late. I wish we could move chairs. You know how you got the top 25 on the screen? I don't know how many of y'all got on the screen, but I wish you could bump somebody out if their production ain't good. 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 25, whoever the top 25. I wish it was like that. Just like it was when we used to come in the office. See, I love coming to the office. Guess what, Shane? I beat people. Gary told me one thing, he said, beat people into submission. Compete so hard, beat them into submission where you keep beating them, they don't even ask you to compete no more. And I hate that it's like that. And I'm a challenge all my RVPs. I'm talking to y'all. Y'all scared to compete with April Monte. I got to compete with an SNSD for me to get some production. My RVPs, they scared to compete now, Shane. I walk into the building, guess what? They don't even sit in my seat no more. Guess what? I walk into the building, I'm still going to sit in our seat. I'm going to make Gary tell me to move. Oh, you know, here, SNSD, you should move. Gary, I don't give a damn about the SNSD title. I'm beating it right now in production. So guess what? Nobody has that attitude with April Monte. You know, that's why we ain't at 100,000 right now. That's why my regionals ain't at 100,000. That's why Passion them ain't at 50,000. That's why a lot of them ain't 50,000 because ain't nobody, everybody is scared to compete. I don't want to run for their feathers. What if they don't like me no more? So what? You was born in this world by yourself. Guess what, Ashton? You're going to die by yourself. So why you care about if somebody don't like you or not? Because I guarantee you, I didn't like art 90% of the time. But guess what? I didn't got rich. I love them when we go to the meetings and we see the Barragons. Oh yeah, or you know, I ain't even mad about what you said about last month. You said, oh, let me talk to your mama, not you. Guess what? You see the Barragons? They're using our system and they ain't giving us game. They ain't giving us credit. Let's go take that from them. See, I'm not walking into another convention or another trip where I'm losing to somebody that's staying in the same state as me. Because guess what I know, Aston? I didn't run a company for 6 months. $190,000 base shop, $180,000 base shop. Before they was doing 200, 300,000. Guess what? I'm behind because I was running the company at a point in time for 6 months straight. Not no 2 months, not no 2 weeks, not the first 17 days in the company. I've been running it for 6 months at a point in time. And guess what? I got complacent because I was beating everybody into submission. So I'm waiting for one of these RVPs in the dynasty and the chosen ones and the A1s to step up and want to compete with April Monte and really compete. Not just saying it because I put you on Front Street. Oh, he said we ain't competing. I'm talking about really competing. I'm talking about getting under my feathers. I'm talking about talking some shit in the Telegram, in the group me, really competing. Making me feel uncomfortable, getting out my skin. If I want to go to sleep at 9 o'clock, guess what? Adrian just jumped on at 8:50 and said, hey, I guess what, you comfortable. You ain't gonna make no more money. Your income rolling back. See, I need somebody like that because ain't nobody else doing it. You know, Art is a millionaire already. Already made it already. He a millionaire. Where my RVPs at? We're the ones that keep saying they gonna compete. We keep talking about we gonna get to 1 million, but ain't nobody even doing nothing to get to 1 million because we ain't really competing. We too nice and shit. Me and Sergio was friends now. I liked it when we wasn't friends. Because why? He was at 50,000, I was at 100. We too giddy, nicey. I don't want to rep your fellow. You know we on company trips. You know we making all this money. Let's operate like we broke again. Some of us rolling back, including me. Because ain't nobody driving us to compete no more. Where's the environment? When I walked in, y'all called me premium whores. Now y'all don't say nothing to me no more. Oh, he's just cocky. That's all I hear now. He's cocky. He's cocky. We don't want to compete with him. See, it was a long time ago. Back in my day, like they say, Aston, back in my day, it didn't matter who you was or what your title was, you was going to get it. If you was a district and you was beating regionals, we trying to take your seat. If you was an RVP losing to a district, I'm trying to make that district take your seat. And make Gary say, hey, well, you know, if you're in a region, you can't take their seat. All right, whatever. But he beating them, though. See, I miss that kind of that era. Not this old nicey, friendly. I don't want to hurt your feelings. I want to hurt everybody's feelings that want to compete. So let's go to work. I'm sorry, you ain't gonna like me, but you're gonna love me when you look at the account or you look at the end of the month and it say you was at 90,000 and you was only doing 20 last month. So when is the dynasty gonna step this shit up again? I'm talking about the dynasty, chosen ones too. All right, so RVPs on here that went out big and they ain't hit that number since you went out, which is crazy to me. If you did it once to go RVP, why you ain't doing it now that you're RVP yourself? See, we at 60,000 right now, struggling. But I guarantee you at the end of the month, we're gonna be at 100. And I told my base shop one thing, Shane, when we was running the company for 6 months, I said, hey, when we fall, you know we're gonna fall at 100. Because every dynasty falls. When we fall, we're gonna fall at 100. People look at us like, you crazy, you struggling at 100. You talking about you struggling, you don't like being at 100,000. Hell no, I don't like being at 100. Because I've been doing it for 2 years already. It's time to grow up. It's time to level up. This is mature, this is immature numbers now, because I've been doing it. If I did it as a regional, why am I doing the same number as a regional when I have 5 agents that I'm doing right now with 95 agents? See, it's your level of thinking. Some of y'all be happy to do 100 because you did it once. But if I could do it with 5 agents, saying, why the hell I ain't doing 350 with 95 agents? That's great. I got $300 earners. And when they gonna get tired of being at 100? Because I'm tired of being at 6. See, this is the kind of level, this is the kind of coach I am with my people. A lot of y'all say, well, why are y'all so great? Because I ain't taking no shit. Because my daddy was looking at 20 years in prison. My brother was looking at 16 years in prison. Y'all don't understand the mindset that I had to go through at 19 years old. I had to level up with a child, had to realize I didn't have a father for 3 years, had to realize I didn't have an older brother, which is also like a father to me for another 2 years. Guess what? I had to level up. Because don't nobody care what you're going through until you get through it. Y'all didn't care. If I was losing, Shane, and I never made no money, guess what they would have said? Well, he's just a typical another guy that's going through life. I mean, whose father's not in jail? Whose brother doesn't? Everybody goes through stuff. But now I make it, oh my God, your story is so impactful. It changed my life. But there's so many people on this call that got way better stories than April and Monte. But we might not ever hear it because you're scared to get uncomfortable. See, I've got so comfortable in uncomfortable positions that it's hard to beat us. Because he said all the time, you can beat Mayweather for 1 round, but you can't beat him for 12. I got 15 people ahead of me in right now in production. But guess what? When we look up, we're going to finish at least top 5. At least top 5. But I ain't accepting that, Shane. Because I know we on a low right now, and our low is 120. Our low is 105. Our low is 118. Your low is 30. Your low is 10. People's lows is different because your mindset is that way. If you change your mindset, then you can change everything else in your business. So it's 11:10. I went over 10 minutes, but guess what? I'm just challenging somebody on here to wake the hell up because we all stuck. We all need to be growing, and the only way we grow is if we compete. So I'm looking for somebody to compete with me. That's all I'm saying. Compete with these basics, compete with my regionals, call them out, talk their shit to them, make them feel uncomfortable. I want you to be having them call me. Did you hear what the hell they said about me, coach? Did you hear what they said? Well, guess what? Go to work. Because when you working, they ain't got nothing to say about you. But now you ain't doing nothing. You worried about, oh, he said that I ain't built nothing. He said that I'm rolling back. Yeah, because you are. He's just telling you the truth. So guess what? Let's go to work, y'all. We're going to get to 1 million. Let's finish strong. We got what, 4 or 5 days left, but really we got 1 day. Operate like that. You got a day to get to where you need to get to by the day. So we're going to have a 20K day today at my base shop. I hope every other RVP, hope y'all wake up, Adrian. I hope you wake up, Vivian. Hope you wake up, Sergio. I hope you wake up, Chris Lopez. I hope all the RVPs wake up because guess what? We're going to keep rocking. I'm just looking for somebody to push me to that next level. And it shouldn't have to only be art. But I knew what, in this hierarchy, art was the one winning, so I was going to take that position. And just know his days is number 2. He know. I tell him every time I see him. He know his days is numbered. But ain't nobody else going to catch me as an RVP. So guess what? I see y'all on the scoreboard because we about to go to work. And I know I just talked some shit, Shane. And I got to go to work now because y'all finna hold me accountable. That's the difference between me and y'all. I'm going to go to work. I'll see you on the scoreboard. When y'all look up tonight, we'll be at 70,000.
That's it, y'all. Drop the mic. Have a great productive day. See y'all on the scoreboard. Peace out.